ceasefire deal between the U.S. and Iran has been reached, along with the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, according to 2 U.S. officials and another source with knowledge of negotiations. But it still needs final approval from President Trump and Iran's supreme leader. The Commerce Department showing inflation is now at a 3-year high due to the ongoing conflict with Iran. A separate report finds more people are going hungry, including a growing number of children and minorities. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis has details.
10% of households surveyed in February said they didn't have enough food or their kids had to miss meals. That is more than double what we saw in mid-2020. And remember, back then it was the pandemic.
The growing Ebola outbreak in Central Africa prompting the Trump administration to set up a 50-bed facility in Kenya for any Americans who face quarantine due to the Ebola outbreak. And tennis favorite Jannik Sinner out of the French Open, his 30-match winning stretch broken amid dangerous heat across Europe. This is ABC News. California Governor Gavin Newsom officially endorsing L.A. Mayor Karen Bass in the city's mayoral race.
Current L.A. Mayor Karen Bass, along with her former ally turned opponent Nithya Raman and former reality TV star Spencer Pratt, are locked in a very tight battle for L.A. Mayor, according to a new UC Berkeley LA Times poll. The poll finding 26% of likely voters support Bass, 25% Raman, and 22% Spencer Pratt. His campaign has been focused on wildfire recovery. If no one candidate gets 50% of the vote next week, then the top 2 head to the general election in November. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Former First Lady Jill Biden giving interviews for her new book, saying she was worried then President Joe Biden might have been drugged ahead of his widely criticized 2024 debate with President Trump. Details of her upcoming memoir shared by The Atlantic, coming a day after CBS News released part of an interview with the former First Lady, saying she also thought he was having a stroke at the time. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
The latest on recovery efforts in Longview straight ahead. But first, let's check out your KIRO News Radio traffic in Renton, North 405. Pretty heavy through the S-curves, but by the time you get past the Renton Landing, you're going to be wide open. South 405, we're getting crowded between Factoria and the VMAC in Renton. Right around 20 minutes between Renton and Bellevue in both directions. Here in Seattle, we've got some heavy volumes. North 5 scattered backups starting at the Michigan Curve up to the Ship Canal. Gets pretty thick there at the West Seattle Bridge up to I-90. 25 minutes to get through this. And then South 5 is heavy through Northgate. You'll thin out through the U District. Linwood to Seattle is going to take you a half hour, about a 10-minute delay. That report brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Nate Connors. We begin with breaking news on the murder of 17-year-old Braylon Diaz in Parkland Sunday night. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
On Tuesday, the Pierce County Sheriff's Office released a picture of the car believed to have been used in the robbery and fatal shooting, asking for the public's help. Deputy Carly Capetto says on Wednesday that vehicle was found abandoned in Federal Way, and investigators say they now have a person of interest.
The car has enough evidential value in it, so this has definitely launched us one step closer to making an arrest.
As recovery efforts continue at Nippon Dynawave in Longview, the community is coming to grips with the disaster's human toll. KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake spoke to folks at a popular diner not far from the scene.
Here at the Pancake House, 3 days after the fatal accident, people remain reluctant to talk about it.
It's heartbreaking. It just makes you want to cry.
That's Jeannie from nearby Kalama. Pearl, like many who live in Longview, feels a personal connection.
We have family and friends that are missing.
And she says others had near misses.
So many people you talk about, one was off that day, should have been at work, he wasn't. You just hear these stories.
Amid the sadness, there's also in some cases real detachment. Some who declined to speak with me said it's because they had not heard about the disaster and just want to get some lunch. At the Pancake House in Longview, Corwin Hake, KIRO News Radio.
2 people are confirmed dead after Tuesday's disaster. 9 remain missing. The city of Edmonds has canceled its contract with Flock Safety. KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon has details.
That's the company that operates automated license plate readers in several agencies across the state. Edmonds paused the system back in December following a University of Washington report claiming federal agencies access Flock camera data through back doors. The city cited that report as well as general concerns about surveillance from from the public.
Some relief at the pump nationally, but Seattle drivers are still being hit hard. The national average for a gallon of gas dropped about 16 cents this past week. Here in Seattle, just 3 cents. Gas Buddies Patrick DeHaan told Seattle's Morning News the dip is tied to ongoing talks between the U.S. and Iran.
Of course, we don't have a deal yet, but there's a lot of dialogue happening back and forth that is putting downward pressure on oil, because it does seem like maybe now we have a good potential that these constant dialogues, the constant negotiation could lead to some reopening of the strait.
But DeHaan warns the situation is fragile and any new violence could send prices climbing right back up. Now let's check out that KIRO News Radio weather. An awesome day out there today. Sunny, near 80 this afternoon. Friday, though, we lose about 20 degrees and bring in the rain, and then we rebound over the weekend with sun and upper 60s. 71 in sunshine in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Happy Thursday to you. Jake Skorheim here, sitting alongside Spike O'Neill.
Happy Thursday, brother.
Happy Thursday. We got a lot of stuff to get to. We got a bunch of guests coming up. We're going to talk about many, many things. Jim Walsh is going to join us in just a little bit. We're going to talk about the massive amount of signatures coming in for people who want to get a chance to voice their opinion on that income tax in Washington State and Governor Ferguson's response. We're going to talk to Chris Sullivan about some crazy new traffic stuff. Sound Transit is going to be meeting just a little bit to decide whether or not they're going to be able to deliver on all of their many, many, many years of promises and taxes collected.
Not just promises.
Yeah, it's in writing. It's a contract. We'll talk to Chris about that in just a little bit. We got to start with an update on this Longview story, though. This Nippon Dynawave packaging plant. This thing hit me in a new way today. I was reading, KIRO TV had this piece, and we're going to talk in just a little bit. Luke Ducey is going to join us at 12:30 to talk about this in greater detail. But did you see that KIRO piece where they actually showed some pictures of at least two people that now have one person who's been confirmed dead, and another who is in the group of listed missing.
Yeah.
But the family has set up a GoFundMe because they're the assumption is at this point.
It's a recovery effort.
It's a recovery effort.
And the chemical that was being used in this processing plant has made every element of this
just tougher.
Search and recovery.
Yeah.
So much more difficult.
But I was looking at these pictures, and this is just one of those stories where, like, you can't. We get a lot of stories that happen around the world all the time, and you got to kind of protect yourself. Like, how much emotional? Like, we only have so much emotional energy that we can invest in things. This, to me, seems an important one to do that for.
Yeah.
There's things on the other side of the world that I go like, listen, in a perfect world, but I don't have any control over that, and I have things close to home that I have to save my emotions and care for.
You called it. There's a limited amount of effort. Well, not an effort, but resources.
We're not God. We're not designed for that.
Yeah.
But this is close to home. These are our neighbors, and I wanted to highlight these two guys because I saw these pictures, and it tore my heart out as I was reading about it. Gilbert Burnell, who was listed in this KIRO piece. His family, one of the organizers for his GoFundMe that was set up to help pay for his funeral expenses, says he was a godly man in every sense of the word. His daughter posted on here, "Thank you so much to those who have donated to our family. Every donation is greatly appreciated, and we appreciate our community coming together to help support my family during this time." And the picture of this guy, who I assume this is with his, he's a young-looking fella, but if his daughter's old enough to write something like that, then he might.
That's a grandchild.
That's his grandchild he's holding. Okay, that's
what
I
I'm
thought.
with you, man.
He's holding his grandchild, who's clearly a newborn, a couple months old at the very oldest, and he is in heaven. He just looks like that picture just looks perfect. It's like what everybody strives their entire life to get to, which is when you're holding your babies or your grandbabies in that moment of peace, and you want that moment to stretch on and last forever. And he's gone now. And he died in this tragedy, which is horrible. And it sounds like he's in heaven, which is wonderful that he's there. But for his family, that's just a tremendous loss. And my heart was going. I was like in the studio preparing for this, like saying prayers for these people. I've never met these people,
right.
And yet these are. You might pass these folks on the road. You might pass these folks in the store.
Well, and it's such a small community.
It's a small community,
Yeah.
and Washington's not a big state.
No.
We've interacted with these people at some point in life. You know, I mean,
yeah.
the other one that they named. Again, this is not a confirmation that he is listed as dead.
One of the confirmed missing.
This is Jared Amons.
Yeah.
There's a really great picture of him holding up a couple of salmon, it looks like.
Yeah.
And he's in his hat, and he's
a happy
just
guy.
He looks like a happy guy.
Yeah, working man.
If it's confirmed that he's no longer alive, he leaves behind a wife, 2 kids, and one on the way. One of the organizers for his GoFundMe says Jared was a loving husband, devoted father, cherished son, and caring brother. His loss has left an unimaginable hole in the hearts of everybody who knew him. And as I was reading these, I was thinking, I'm in this phase of life right now. I mean, like we all put these stories into our context of our own lives. Like I'm in this phase right now where I have like just crazy busy life with these kids, and we all experience that.
Yeah.
And how lucky we are to get to experience the craziness, because it means we're still here. And these people were taken too soon. Prayers to these families. If you have the inclination and the ability, there's GoFundMe set up for them, where you can donate to maybe help make this time a little easier. And the other thing that these 2 pictures highlighted, that I didn't know these guys, but a picture says 1,000 words. And based on the descriptions of them and their families and the GoFundMe pages and just those 2 pictures, all I needed were those 2 pictures that I saw of Jared and Gilbert. These guys had priorities in the right place. Like, it's really easy in life to lose track of what's important.
Yeah.
And it seems to me that these guys had their priorities in the right place. And just a tremendous loss, and our hearts go out to these folks.
And the community of Longview, where this tragedy took place, is the largest industrial accident. Will be, as you said, there's
the
largest industrial accident in the state's history, and a community that small, and it's a little rural, working waterfront community, and this is the largest industry in that community. Is this mill, has been for a long time.
Yeah,
I'm assuming there's no one in that town that wasn't touched by this loss.
I'm sure, yeah.
With as by the time the missing are recovered,
you heard the top of the hour news break where they're in the restaurant and people don't even want to talk about it,
right?
Because it's just they know these people.
I mean, we see these type of stories, as you mentioned, around the globe, across the country, but this one's home. And this is a community that. I guarantee you know somebody that's got a connection to that community, and everybody in that community has a connection to this tragedy.
Sure.
It really does hit home. And Luke's got the latest updates for us with regard to the recovery, the treatment of the chemicals that we've learned.
They even begin that part? Because you got to figure out what's leaked into the water.
It's been confirmed now that this chemical, this white liquor, made its way into the Columbia, made its way into the sewer drains of that community.
Sure.
Yesterday we were reporting that the containment systems at the plant had worked, but now we find that wasn't.
To some extent, yeah.
To some extent they did,
yeah.
but not completely. And yesterday they was telling people to stay out of culverts and stay out of ditches because of this corrosive chemical.
Dangerous stuff. It's made to break down. If it's made to break down wood, turn into pulpy stuff.
It was eating its way through PPE equipment. Was reported yesterday. The protective equipment people were using to clean up and to contain this disaster and begin the search for these missing, that's the chemical that's been, dumped onto this community.
Yeah.
So this story is going to be with this community forever.
Yeah.
But with all of us here in this region for a long time.
It's just it reminds me of when Oso happened.
Yes.
And kind of just the shock of tragedy of that.
And
how could that happen?
It's hard to fathom initially the scope of this, but as more details come in, it starts to really hit home as you mentioned, as to how impactful this is.
Yeah, hearts go out. Prayers for these families.
All those of the family that were lost, but these 2 guys.
All right, let's shift over. Let's shift to some other stuff. We're gonna go back to Luke here in just about 20 minutes or so, and we'll give you some more insights into this and what's going on down there. Let's chat with let's chat about. Did you see the story, the Mayor Wilson stuff? Can we talk? There's something going on in Wilson's office.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I want to start with this. I want to first start with the barricade stuff. We'd planned on talking about that last, but let's talk about the barricade stuff with Katie Wilson.
Yeah, you bet.
And then we're going to work our way down to people resigning in her office. Now, is it an actual resignation? Somebody kicked to the curb and they're trying to make it look good?
Yeah.
So they call it a resignation?
Yeah, that seems to be the case. You can resign or
or you could be fired.
We wish him well in his future endeavors.
Yeah.
Whenever you see that in a memo,
Warmest regards.
You know what's going on.
Yes, 100%.
Let's start with the barricades in North Seattle on 97th Street. Locals decided to take matters into their own hands.
Because pimp wars. There's people driving by shooting bullets. They're getting into bullets flying through windows. One guy I heard talked about the bullet almost hitting his 6-week-old in a bassinet. Bullets near bassinets.
And the neighbors have been complaining for a couple of years now. The city's been talking and promising this neighborhood to do something about this issue, and the city did nothing for 2 years. So this community took
matters
action
into their own hands
and put up these barricades, and
Listen
the mayor responded.
Here's a little bit of that new father, Jake.
Could have lost my 6-week-old beautiful baby boy.
As a bullet went through the wall.
Yeah. Neighbors spoke to Como, talked about the gun violence, their concerns, and they like the barricades, which the mayor is now taking down. She's saying that's unacceptable. We can't have those barricades.
I mean, we live right in the smack of everything, so we've had our house hit with bullets, and the neighbor behind us went through their window, actually.
So here's what the mayor's office said. They said the barriers are unacceptable, adding, this is from My Northwest, you can read about this there. The resident-installed barricades cannot remain because they block access for first responders, trash collection, and other essential services. They also block the pimps. As part of our ongoing efforts, the mayor has directed the Seattle Department of Transportation to replace the resident-installed barriers with temporary traffic calming treatments at the 3 locations to reduce cut-through traffic and address the access needs of those living in the streets. That, to me, sounds like one of those soft speed humps.
That was funny you mentioned that because it was a question this morning. Luke was on with Seattle Morning News. And are they going to put up speed bumps? And they said, no, we're not putting up speed bumps.
Because everyone would find that unacceptable. Well, that doesn't fix the problem.
Well, neither will speed humps.
Neither will speed humps.
So
what do you think of this, the mayor taking this down?
I understand the concern, but it doesn't address the lack of response from the city, the lack of responsibility to the community.
Yeah.
For this situation. I mean, what they said they're going to study the issue. One of the residents quoted, well, they're going to study how many drive-bys that we get, shootings we get per night with speed bumps. Is that what's that impact? I mean,
well, they're not going to catch them on flock cams. I'll tell you that much.
Right. Well, especially in my neighborhood, that was the latest to go down with losing those that resource in Edmonds. Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Yep. Latest of the 4th of the Snohomish County communities to stop using the.
For what reason listed? Immigration.
Failure for assurances that this information wouldn't be shared to violate state law. To their defense. Their hands are kind of tied.
All right, let's move on. I don't want to put you in a spot where you got to defend them.
I hear you. Well, I hear you. Thank you. With regard to these blockades, so they're going to study for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the issue. When you're going to study a situation, those folks who are committing these acts of violence and crime.
Yeah, now that you've made it known that you're studying.
Yeah, I guarantee you that announcement we're going to be keeping our eyes open for 2 weeks. It's going to go down to 0 for 2 weeks, and then all hell is going to break loose again.
The pimps are going to say, hey, guys, why don't we just stop using these streets for a little bit? We just won't fire at each other in these streets just for a little bit.
I had to look into the dynamic of why this particular street is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
There is a circuit that the pimps who work
run these girls,
run these sex traffic, these sex workers on Aurora Avenue, approximately between 105th and with 97th, where these barricades were put up. You know where the footbridge is over Aurora Avenue? It's painted like purple and red and pink and orange.
Yeah,
it's lovely. They make this loop. The pimps do
a pimp loop
to monitor their sex workers. They go south on Aurora. They take a right turn on 97th, go up.
Is this known?
Yes. It's been going on for 3 years now.
But people know of a pimp loop?
Yeah.
Why don't they stop the pimps?
Why don't they stop the sex trafficking?
Why don't they stop the pimps?
Right. Exactly.
Why is the
Speed
response
bumps
to this?
It's not.
Why
right.
is the response to this speed humps or speed bumps? It doesn't matter. Neither are going to work. The response is citizens cannot protect themselves, and we're going to study the problem. I mean, is there any more perfect example of just bureaucracy that doesn't care at all than the city responding by going, you know what we're going to do? I know that you guys are really feeling the pinch here. So much so that you literally put up barricades. It's like we're watching Les Miserables or something, honestly. Yeah. The people are saying we're tired of the government who is not protecting us and delivering on the promises.
Not one more day, they should say.
Not one more day.
They
I
should
pulled
get
the
into the
song.
streets. They should get in the streets. That'd stop the pimps. A community sing-along with torches. Can we have torches?
Ironically, they're dressed up like that.
That's when they climbed over the barricade, ironically. I don't know what you're going to invest in speed bumps or humps or monitoring a situation for a couple weeks. And I know you're short of law enforcement officers.
Mm-hmm.
What's a private security company cost? I mean,
go park an empty SPD.
That was my first thought too.
SUV at either end of the street.
Right.
So the pimps go, hold up. Is there a cop in there? Maybe we don't drive by and shoot at each other while there's a cop right there.
But you called it though, eliminate the crime on the acts of sex trafficking or sexual trade, trafficking is not the right word.
Pimps and prostitutes.
Yeah, the sex workers.
Yeah, prostitutes.
Make that because that was eliminated as a priority about 4 years ago.
Get rid of the prostitutes. Get rid of the pimps.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
That helps. That helps eliminate the drive-bys. Helps eliminate the pimp wars. Helps probably really cut down on human trafficking in the area.
Yeah, I would think so.
So many problems that we're investing in not solving. And is it an investment or let's build a barricade of money?
And the
Might
answer
be cheaper.
is, well, it would be cheaper. Unfortunately, the cost of human life would be higher. But the answer is we're going to do a study. That's so unsatisfying for these folks who for the last 3 days, guess what they haven't had for the last few days? Any pimp shootings on those streets.
Right.
And now they have to go to bed tonight knowing that SDOT is going to come over there and tear those things down. And now they're just waiting. Now they're just sitting there telling their kids, don't go play outside. If you're in the house, stay low to the ground.
Oh.
Can you imagine living in that hell? The amount of money these people pay to live in the city. And then this is what they have to deal with. And then they go to Mayor Wilson's office, if they can get anyone on the phone, because everybody's resigning. But they get somebody on the phone and they say, hey, you know what we're going to do? How about a study? Maybe a speed bump?
Because we care. We
hear
you.
They didn't say we care.
Well, I'm trying to save him a little face here, but it ain't working.
That to me, good golly, it's too much. It's just too much for these people.
Yeah,
they're just trying to live their lives, and now they're worrying about a bullet hitting near the bassinet of their baby. What you have two choices: you can protect your family, or you can follow the law. That's what they've unfortunately put these law-abiding citizens.
Mm-hmm.
That's the choice that they've given them. If the city's not going to respond, they're forced to put up barricades. These are not like crazy people living there, according to Seattle standards. They probably are pretty friendly to a lot of the Katie Wilson stuff. And yet Katie Wilson's just looking at them saying, hey, you know what? How about a study? Would you like a study?
I mean, I understand the first responder concerns that the city has with these. I understand the concerns that we won't let's just barricade off the street.
That's what they're hiding behind, but it's
valid.
They're not fixing. It doesn't really even matter.
No, I know it doesn't solve the problem. I'm with you.
If you're not solving the problem, then anything that they give as an answer just doesn't matter. If they're not willing to say, hey, you know what we're going to do? Not only are we going to put up speed bumps to slow people down, we're going to make them really tall, and these cars they're going to hate it. Boy, the pimps are going to hate it. They need to say like, hey, we're also going to stop all those guys who are sex trafficking women. Pimps.
Would be nice.
We're going to go after those guys, and we're going to stop them from doing the illegal things. That's where I would start if I ran a city like Seattle. Yeah. But I don't live in Seattle. Katie Wilson runs
there's
Seattle.
A reason.
Yeah, there's a reason. That's why we moved out of Seattle.
I know, brother.
That's why you moved out of
Seattle.
Seattle.
I moved out of Seattle.
These poor people in this neighborhood, I feel awful for them. And they have to watch as these things are taken out. That's like,
if you want to move, good luck selling that house.
Yeah, good luck.
Right?
It's pimp war adjacent. You're going to love it. Super nice. Barely any bullets flying through the windows on the weekends.
And there's these new
Weekdays,
speed
pretty
bumps.
rough.
Really slows the traffic down.
Yeah. Oh, what a crazy world. All right, we got a lot more coming up. We're going to check in with Luke Ducey, give us a little update on what's happening down there in Longview, all the cleanup that's going to have to happen. I mean, this is a really big deal. How long is this going to last? We'll tell you about it. We'll come back. Stick around.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
KIRO News Radio.
Get on the YouTube channel.
We're live all day on YouTube. Every show, every day.
Hang out with us. The whole gang's there.
And you never know what you might see.
Back up the camera. Oh, my God.
Just search KIRO News Radio, then subscribe.
This Memorial Day, get $525 off every window, $1,000 off every door, plus 12 months zero-interest financing. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the 4 walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
AutoZone. Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Thanks. Is oil marked down?
Save up to $15 when you buy 5 quarts and a filter.
And fuel treatment?
2 for $9 on Lucas.
Brake pads?
Marked down to free.
Free?
Get free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 Duralast rotors.
That's several markdowns.
For many more miles.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Another shakeup inside Mayor Katie Wilson's office. The policy advisor leading her promise to add 4,000 new shelter beds has resigned. The Seattle Times reports John Grant stepped down yesterday, just weeks after Wilson replaced her chief of staff. Grant was the point person on one of the mayor's biggest campaign promises, 1,000 new shelter beds this year alone. Longview residents may notice odors and discolored water in the roadside ditches following Nippon Dynawave's discharge, but officials say the drinking water is still safe.
Our water treatment plant is extremely sophisticated, and it is designed to shut down at any exposure to contamination.
Public Works Director Chris Collins says crews are flushing hydrants to dilute contaminants, and EPA sensors have detected no health risks. Collins says the water is just as safe as it was last week. Homicide investigators in Pierce County say the car used Sunday night in the robbery and fatal shooting of 17-year-old Braylon Diaz in Parkland has been found. Here's Deputy Carly Capetto.
We actually were able to locate the suspect vehicle abandoned in the Federal Way area, and that has led us to identify some persons of interest.
Capetto says the car was not reported stolen, but there is no word on whether an arrest is imminent. Seattle's Department of Transportation has been ordered to remove a series of barricades built by frustrated North Seattle neighbors trying to protect their streets from ongoing drive-by shootouts. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports the move comes days after bullets narrowly missed the 6-week-old baby sleeping in a crib.
After a bullet ripped through the wall of a home near Aurora Avenue North and North 98th Street in Seattle, the father, Jake, told KIRO 7 TV,
"Could have lost my 6-week-old beautiful baby boy."
And residents built metal barricades to block what police say have been pimp shootouts during an ongoing prostitution turf war. Mayor Katie Wilson's office says residents can't block first responders or trash trucks from the neighborhood. SDOT will install temporary traffic calming treatments that do not include speed bumps. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
And now check on Wall Street. The Dow up 12 points, S&P 500 up 45, and the NASDAQ up nearly 250. Your KIRO News Radio traffic brought to you by Subaru Puyallup. Mercer Island, we've got a crash eastbound 90 on the East Channel Bridge. It's blocking 2 right lanes, and you're in a bumper-to-bumper backup stretching to Island Crest Way. North 405 through Factoria at Cold Creek Parkway, there's a big chunk of debris sitting in the center lane. It's a little far out from my camera view, but it looks like it might be a tire. Here in Seattle, North 5, scattered backups between the Michigan Curve and Ship Canal. About 25 minutes gets you through downtown. And South 5, we're still heavy coming out of Northgate, thinning out through the U District. Linwood to Seattle, a 25-minute drive. Traffic is stressful. One thing that's always stress-free, great pricing on over 300 new Subarus with easy financing is Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. 80 and sunny this afternoon. Get out there if you can, because tomorrow we do a 180, 61 and showers on Friday. Mostly sunny in upper 60s for the weekend. Sunny and 70 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. We got Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio reporter, joining us right now. Luke, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We are covering right now, we're just trying to let people know, keep people up to date on what's happening at that chemical spill in Longview.
Yeah.
What do you got for us?
Yeah, a lot of new updates here. We'll kind of go through it. Let's talk about this first. 2 people are dead officially in this incident. 9 people injured, including 1 firefighter, and that firefighter has been released from the hospital, apparently. 9 workers are still missing. Now, what you might hear online or in different newscasts here and there, families of the missing are now starting to declare their loved ones dead, and some have started GoFundMe pages, but they haven't been officially declared deceased. So that's why those numbers are the way they are. This is now officially a recovery operation. It's no longer a rescue operation for those 9 workers. A source close to the investigation tells us the systems they have in place to stop that white liquor chemical, it's known as white liquor, keeping that mix out of the Columbia River, that mostly worked. However, some of it did now, it's been confirmed, get into the Columbia River. Don't know the extent of, if any, damage environmentally. That's being assessed right now. Also, this white liquor got into the city's ditch system and killed a lot of fish, about a dozen fish, by raising the pH level. So there's a system in place there that flushes water from the Cowlitz River through this ditch system that kind of winds around near the industrial area, around houses as well. Then what it does, it dilutes things like that white liquor, and then it shoots back on the other end into the Columbia River. So that will happen. There will be more of this white liquor that's diluted to acceptable levels that will go into the Columbia River.
There's an
as
established acceptable level of contaminant?
Yeah, if it's diluted to a certain amount, because this
okay.
it will raise pH levels, and pH levels are different than other types of contaminations.
Okay.
Yeah. We do have more on that white liquor as well. I mean, we've been talking about that for a couple of days. What is it? How dangerous is this?
Yeah,
is
tell
this
us
stuff?
about, like, if somebody, because they were telling people, like, don't go into culverts or
Yeah.
ditches or anywhere that something
Avoid
might collect.
contact.
That
Yeah.
ditch. So if you look on a map, those ditches, it's like almost like an aqueduct. It's kind of like, and it runs right behind some houses. Like in their backyards would be a fence, and then you kind of go to, stay away from it. That's what they're telling people. Just do not go near it. This stuff is, I want to kind of connect this to the missing workers as well. It is so corrosive that it's again, we said this yesterday, but it's used to break down the wood chips in these plants that's made into pulp and paperboard. A source close to us, and I shared this on your show yesterday, told us that when hazmat first responders first got there to the scene, and they were going in to try to rescue people, of course, that's what they do, and do what they can, that white liquor started melting their protective equipment. They eventually could not reach those 9 workers that are still missing. And even when these 9 workers are recovered, Battalion Chief Matt Amos says this.
Recovered from the site, they'll undergo decontamination before being transported to the Cowlitz County Coroner's Office for identification and family notification.
Yeah, so the bodies will have to be decontaminated as well before they go to the coroner's office. National Guard is there with special equipment to help. Federal crews are also there. There was talk earlier in the week, and now they are there to send in crews that have equipment and know how to deal with weapons of mass destruction. So WMDs, that's the level of gear that is ideal for working with and this white liquor, which they're using at this plant.
Let me ask you guys a question about that plant. So I was looking into this a little bit. That it's Nippon Dynawave, is that how you pronounce
Correct,
it?
yeah.
So that plant, is that the largest employer it must be in Longview, because they have about 1,000 workers I saw, and they say about 3% of the population works at this plant, because they have about 38,000 people in that town. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So it must be, that's a massive employer in town. What is the state of the business right now? I don't know if these are questions that you can answer right now, but are they temporarily closed for operation? Is this just one small section of that? Because it's a huge facility. Isn't it like many times the size of Disneyland?
3 times the size of Disneyland. So yes, huge operation, and it's kind of almost 2 plants in one.
That's right.
So one plant is most likely still operating. There is a representative from the company there on boots on the ground who is answering questions as part of press conferences. There's going to be another one around 3 o'clock this afternoon. But they're not giving any information that kind of what you're looking for. This is a Japanese company, owns it, took ownership about 4 or 5 years ago, based in Tokyo.
I even thought about that. The town's largest employer potentially is shut down for how long?
Everyone knows everyone too. About that.
Like that's where I started going to, like, this recovery effort. It sounds like it's going to be quite a big deal as they try to figure out how to first clean up the chemical spill. Once it's safe to go in, then you're recovering the people who are still missing. At the end of that process, that's going to be a lot of people who have unfortunately perished. You're going to have to deal with all of that. And then the company, does the company stay up and running while they're dealing with all of that? Or do they shut down operations? Because now everybody's wondering, well, what the heck happened here? They need to make an assessment of how that could possibly happen. And,
and resuming
multiple lives lost.
Resuming the process of what they do.
Well, who even feels safe going into a company where you have people, what are we talking about here? Maybe 10, 11 people dead as a result of this? So how do you even feel safe going in there? They employ, at the pulp and paper mill side, there's 550 employees. And on the other side, which is a liquid packaging plant, 450. Those are all people who are they just going to sit at home and wait wait for the job to get turned back on? I mean, I don't know how any of this is going to work yet. Hopefully they can answer some of those questions.
Yeah, and if unions are involved as well, and I know that a lot of places are opening their doors and helping families where they can. And this is also a tight-knit community. So there are stories of people helping each other out, but you're right. At some point, yeah, there will be questions, especially down the road here, as we, and I think one answer to your question, Jake, is also though that what we're seeing with these families who are already declaring, they're saying, look, my family member is one of those, they're missing. We know they're one of the missing and they're dead, and so they're starting GoFundMe fights for their pages, even though they're not officially declared deceased, to help out with things like bills and other things. Livelihoods have been lost.
I know it's early in the process, but at some point, accountability of the company is going to be examined and called into question. There's investigations already from.
There's a federal investigation underway right now.
Already. But we talk about a company whose 500 people are going to be out of work for who knows how long.
1,000.
Does the company have a responsibility to help these families in this moment, or is this fault of the community, the local governments, fault of the donations?
There's obviously going to be insurance claims that are made. There's going to be lawsuits.
That's a long process.
This is a long process, and that's a very small town, and it's not like I wouldn't look at Longview and think to myself, oh, this is a town that's just like flush with cash. So what do you do in a small town like that where you have 38,000 people and now suddenly maybe 3% of them are trying to figure out what's the longevity of this job look like? That's just like one element to the story beyond the horrible part that we're still focusing on, which is the loss of life.
And the danger to the community environmentally.
Then further down the road, beyond the loss of life, the danger with the chemical spill and all that. Yeah. That's just the whole thing is.
This is the most impactful, largest event like this that we've experienced in accident in this state, and it's not just because of the one ground zero and what happened at that time. It's because, to your point, it affects so many people in so many different ways.
Wow. All right, Luke Ducey, we appreciate you coming in. And if we have any more updates, we'll get you back on. And when did you say that press conference is going to be?
Today around 3 o'clock, okay. I believe. Yeah.
All right,
we asked how you're going to recover from this as a community and what resource going to be able to these families and this town, not just those who lost family members or lost lives, but the people who may be losing jobs. We have Jim Walsh.
Livelihood, yeah.
We have Jim Walsh coming on later today. We're going to talk about the taxation or the state millionaires tax situation, but this is his district. These are his.
You heard him. He was speaking on this earlier.
He spoke to this. I heard yesterday. He made a statement about the loss of life and they've been caring for the families and thoughts and prayers. And he was as he should. But maybe he can help us figure out what's next for the community.
Yeah.
From a state government, from a federal government perspective.
Interesting. All right, Luke Ducey, appreciate you coming in, man. We will have more on that later. All right, we're going to switch gears here completely and try to lighten things up a little bit. That's a heavy topic, obviously.
Yeah.
I saw this video, Spike. I got to play this for you. The audio is unbelievable. There was a woman in Palm Beach who got pulled over. The cop walks up to her window. He claims that she's driving with a cell phone in her right hand.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Very dangerous. He wants to give her a citation.
Okay.
Now, this is very tricky because she doesn't have a right hand. I'm going to play the audio when we get back. Her reaction to all this, it's absolutely hilarious.
Okay.
She's fantastic in the video. It's like body cam footage from the cop.
Yeah.
You're not going to believe what the cop does.
Okay.
We'll play it for you when we get back. Stick around.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive home and auto bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Welcome back to the show. This is my favorite story of the day. The video is phenomenal. The audio is even better. You can just sit there and it does require a little context if you're not seeing it. A police officer in Palm Beach is doing an emphasis patrol on handheld devices. They don't want you driving with them. Have you ever gotten a ticket for that?
No, I haven't. Of all the things I've been ticketed for, I've never been ticketed for being on my phone. It's distracted driving.
Distracted driving?
Yeah.
I always wonder how they can spot you because they're like way far away, and then they pull up next to you, and then they tell you, I saw you holding the phone in your hand. Now, there's just like a very good chance that you were holding a stapler in your hand. That's not likely. I understand that. But like, who knows?
Stapling and driving is a problem.
Do they have eagle eyes? Like, how can they see that it's a phone? That's my question.
No, they do have training to show them what to look for in a driver.
I understand, but I felt stupid because one time they pulled me over and they said, we saw you with a phone in your hand. And instead of going, did you or didn't you? I don't know. Like, making it a question. I want to lie to the guy. I had my phone in my hand in this case.
Right.
I did. I was plugging my phone into my car so I could use the CarPlay.
I remember you telling me the story.
And I told him that. I said, I was just plugging it in. I wasn't actually looking at my screen. He goes, yeah, that's, but I still got you with your phone in your hand.
Yeah.
And he goes, what you need to do is put it on a little holder. If it's on a holder, you can mess with your phone screen. And I said, that's dumb. He goes, well, it's whatever. That's the law.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I
blame Olympia.
Exactly.
Here's their number.
All right. So this is
Call them while you're driving.
Kathleen Thomas. She gets a citation in February. Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputy pulls her over approaches her side window and makes this, he tells her, hey, I got you. You got your phone in your hand. Now, Kathleen does not have a right hand, so this gets tricky for this guy in just a second. Listen to this.
Hello, ma'am. Hey, good morning. I'm Deputy Gasala with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. This is why you're being pulled over. In the city of Lake Worth today, we're doing an operation for distracted driver, and you drove past me holding the phone with your right hand, manipulating that phone. I mean, I saw you with the phone in your hand.
Not. So you want to just call this a day? Or?
I don't want to call it a day. You had a...
So she says, obviously not. She has not showed her hand yet, or her lack of. And she says, obviously not. So you want to just call this a day? Because she's basically saying, no, I did not. He persists. He says, no, I know what I saw.
And manipulated.
You just said my right hand.
Well, I thought I told you your right hand. You had a hand out.
So now she's holding up her hand, which is a stump.
There's a stump. She's missing a hand, yeah.
And so she's continuing like, okay, so you just want me to leave, right?
The right hand. I saw you manipulate.
So you didn't.
With the right hand, perhaps not, right? But I saw you.
You didn't see me with my right hand.
Okay, so are you
saying that you saw me with my right hand?
I know what I just said. I'm asking you now. Did you or not have your phone on your hand?
I did not.
You did not have your phone in your hand?
I did not.
Hand to God, you did not have your phone in your hand.
She holds up her stumpy hand.
Oh my god.
Hand to God. She holds up her right hand, which is which doesn't exist. So he says, hold up your other hand.
Hand to God.
The other hand to God. You don't have your phone in your hand.
Hand to God.
Cool. You have your driver's license, registration, and insurance?
Hold up your other hand. He's just digging himself a hole. He has to walk away at this point, right? He has to just say, like, all right, you know what? Obviously, you don't have a hand. Why don't we call it even?
Was she steering with her stump and he had her phone in her left hand? I mean, that makes no
she's
sense.
Clearly steering with her left.
Yeah.
Is she steering? I don't know if she could steer with that. I don't know.
I steered with my knee before while eating cereal in a car. You know, we all do it from time to time, don't we?
That's not against the law.
This is ridiculous, guys.
It might be against the law.
It might
probably,
be.
Don't drive with cereal.
Granola's okay.
We've all driven with cereal. All right, listen.
This guy's half his rocker.
So he walks away. He comes back. You assume he's just going to say, listen, egg on my face. I didn't realize that you didn't have a hand. Why don't you head along on your way? And I'm sorry, but that's not what happened.
All right, man. So you're going to receive a citation for wireless communication device, handheld while driving. We got to put the phone down as we operate a motor vehicle.
Oh, and you put on there that you saw me with my right hand holding it, yeah?
I did not put that. No, if you want to take it to court.
But that's what you said when you pulled me over, yes?
That's what I said,
That you saw me holding my device with my right hand.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Yes, that's what I said.
Okay.
Yes. So if you want to take it to court.
And that's what you saw?
That's what I said.
That's what you said you saw?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. If you want to take it to court, option 5 on the back of the ticket, that's how you take that ticket to court. Hey, you have any questions for me?
No. Thank you.
Have a good day.
I mean, is this just not the best video?
Oh my gosh,
it kind of makes your day, doesn't it? She handles herself great.
She really does. She's okay, fine. I'm pretty sure a judge will have more common sense and see the ridiculousness of this exchange.
Yes. It's the kind of thing that only somebody who is used to people maybe staring at them or approaching. I don't know how long she's been, with only one hand, but I assume it's been a while because she seems pretty comfortable with, with the stump.
Yeah.
But she's responding. She's not afraid to show it. She's got quick, retorts. Everything about the exchange on her side.
She's driving her car.
Yeah, is great. So the way that this ended up. So she gets the citation, obviously.
The
story has now gone viral.
Yeah. Well,
apparently, this officer has now requested that the citation be dismissed.
Oh, good.
Which is the right thing to do.
Upon further review of body cam, thank goodness for body cam footage,
thank God
right?
For body cams. Because we would not have had this delightful exchange.
Well, and he also says, I saw it in your right hand.
Yes.
And that's unless it's on a body cam, since he decided not to write it on the ticket. Without body cam.
That, to me, she was so smart to ask that. She goes, did you write where you saw it?
Yeah.
He says, no, I didn't put that.
I know what I said, but it's not what's on.
Why did you think he neglected to write that?
It's because it's verification that what he saw, he did not see.
Yeah.
What he's asserting did not happen.
Thank goodness for this body cam.
Yes.
Because they were able to use that in court if they needed to.
Yeah. She's like, okay, great, let's go to court. And that's... take it to court. If you disagree, take it to court is such a...
It's great.
Well, it is, except that when you know you're right, when you know you don't have a right hand, going to court's a pain. You got to change your schedule. You got to cancel. You got to take a day off work.
Is it really worth $180 or whatever the citation is?
They count on a lot. A lot of the times they count on that.
I think you're right.
I got a speeding ticket in Ellensburg.
Sure.
Coming back from the gorge.
So you'd have to go back there?
I went back to Ellensburg, right?
No
and
way.
I swear, and it was after a concert. I was in a radio station van. This guy pulled me over at like 1:30 in the morning.
Oh, come on.
I'm only guy on the road.
Obviously not a fan.
And
He's giving you a ticket.
Clearly, it was Cal Country, and I was in a rock fan.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I'm going back to fight it because I was like, I'm driving the station van. I'm not ripping through the countryside at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a young, responsible radio employee. And I said, I'm going to court. And my partner Bob's like, no, for $180, you can drive across the state. Just pay ticket. Like, no. I went back to court.
Good for
you.
you.
They threw it out.
Good for you.
Yes.
Victory.
It was great.
That's it. That's the American way. That's why we got the best court system in the
It
whole
is
world.
the greatest.
Because you can fight stupid tickets.
Body cams.
Sometimes you win.
Sometimes you'll win.
That's great. Well, good for this
Great
lady. Good
story.
for Kathleen.
Yeah.
She's not going to get her hand back, but she does not have the ticket, which is awesome.
Oh. It's like I want to give her I can give her a high five.
Yeah, you can give her
a high five. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
All right. We got a lot of stuff to talk about still. I had the fire department in my house yesterday.
Excuse me?
I did. It happened during the show. My wife sends me a text. She goes, the fire department's here. I'll tell you guys about it next. We'll be right back. Stick around.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. When Dennis suggested retirement planning to his wife Linda, she had the same reaction lots of people do.
Do we really need it?
Then they attended a free seminar with elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayich at LifePoint Law.
He asked me, what do you want? And he truly listened. And at the end of it, it was like, we need to do this.
There are many people on the radio that speak about many things. And when we got here and actually worked with the team that Rajiv has put together, it turns out that it is not just talk, it is action.
And in the worst case?
I said to him, if something happens to Dennis, what would I do exactly? And he said, you pick up the phone and you call Rajiv or you call me. And that right there was like peace of mind.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Tacoma on June 4th, Mukilteo June 6th, Lacey June 9th, or Bellevue June 13th, 6:30 p.m. Space is limited. Sign up at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
This is Ricky Rubio, point guard for the Phoenix Suns.
And I'm Holly Robinson Peete, actor and along with Ricky, ambassador for Delivering Jobs. We know that a job is empowering and instills confidence. Yet 81% of adults with developmental differences don't have a paid job, even though companies that employ people with differences report better morale and higher productivity.
There are 6.5 million people in the U.S. with an intellectual or developmental difference such as autism.
And now, thanks to Autism Speaks, Best Buddies, the Holly Rod Foundation, and Special Olympics, there has never been more opportunity to improve hiring practices and build a more inclusive workforce. Join me, Ricky Rubio, and these amazing organizations in supporting and creating pathways to 1 million employment and leadership opportunities for this talented community.
Visit deliveringjobs.org to learn more.
That's deliveringjobs.org.
At the Boy Scouts of America, our oath remains. A Scout pledges to be kind, helpful, and brave. We're committed to providing a safe and welcoming environment where Scouts can establish the foundations of character that will last a lifetime. Our approach ensures the Boy Scouts of America is building the youth of today into the leaders we'll turn to tomorrow. The Boy Scouts of America. Building character is in our nature. Visit scouting.org to learn more about Scouting.
Amazon Business. Discover smart business buying, where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1.
ABC
Tacoma,
News,
Seattle. Northwest
Iranian
News.
negotiators believe they have arrived at a draft agreement to formally extend the ceasefire and gradually open the Strait of Hormuz. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, though, telling reporters it still needs final approval from President Trump and Iran's supreme leader. ABC's Karen Travers has more.
All of these things, of course, have been part of the discussions for weeks right now, and Bessent would not say why this agreement might be the one that pushes it over the finish line and does reach that final conclusion, at least to reopen things for 60 days for further negotiations.
The U.S. economy facing headwinds due to the war with Iran. The Commerce Department showing inflation is up to levels not seen in 3 years. Another report by the New York Fed highlights what analysts call a K-shaped economy. The Trump administration setting up a 50-bed facility in Kenya for any Americans who will face quarantine due to the ongoing Ebola outbreak. That facility could open tomorrow. This is ABC News. The state of California suing the new owners of 23andMe for the data breach 3 years ago. The genealogy company acquired by a holdings company after going bankrupt in 2025.
In California's new lawsuit, Attorney General Rob Bonta claims a 2023 data breach at 23andMe affected close to 7 million users, and that 23andMe failed to protect its customers' data, ignoring known vulnerabilities in its system. The lawsuit is against a holdings company that now owns 23andMe after 23andMe went bankrupt last year. Bonta saying
it was consumers' sensitive personal information and data related to consumers' health.
Bonta alleges the breach became publicly known when the data of 1 million consumers was offered on the dark web. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
New evidence renewing the search for a Michigan woman in the Bahamas. Lynette Hooker disappeared after her husband Brian says she fell from their dinghy following a night out. The Coast Guard now says it wants to send a crew to search a new area. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Residents in Longview share how they are coping with the deadly chemical plant implosion. That's coming up. First, your KIRO News Radio traffic brought to you by Carpet Liquidators. North 5 in Seattle, we've got a growing backup between the West Seattle Bridge and Ship Canal. Plan on 25 minutes to get through downtown. South 5, stop and go between Northgate and downtown, just under 25 minutes from Linwood. Mercer Island, we cleared that earlier collision eastbound 90 on the East Channel Bridge. No longer any backups. Just minor backups at the First Avenue South Bridge, where we have a marine crossing underway. And South 5 through JBLM, we're starting to see a backup build there near the main gate, Tacoma to Olympia, 40 to 45 minutes. Why pay retail? Save big with the largest carpet and hardwood flooring selection at Carpet Liquidators. 7 locations. They got you covered at Carpet Liquidators.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. As emergency responders continue their recovery efforts at Nippon Dynawave in Longview, the city and its people must begin a recovery of their own. KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake reports from downtown Longview.
The Pancake House is a diner about 2 miles from the scene of this disaster, and that proximity is reflected in the lunchtime conversation.
That's all everyone's talking about right now. It's uppermost in our minds.
Partly because there are personal connections to the tragedy.
One of my coworkers, his dad's missing. So he was a very nice man.
But also because the disaster casts shade on the safety of the paper industry, so central to Longview's identity.
You know, it's been safe so far, and then this happens. So I don't know where it's going to go from here.
Regarding environmental concerns, Pancake House diners believe what they're hearing, that air and drinking water are safe.
They've been saying everything's okay, so we're trusting them.
What remains is hope for a quick return to normal.
Thoughts and prayers to the family, and I hope they find peace, and those who are injured are, they get home safely and they recover quickly.
In Longview, Corwin Hake, KIRO News Radio.
As firefighters battle the Country Meadows fire near the Tri-Cities in eastern Washington, they're dealing with another danger in the sky. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun reports.
The Benton County Sheriff's Office says several drone operators were flying too close to firefighting aircraft over the weekend as crews worked to contain that wildfire. Officials say those drones create a serious safety risk for pilots and firefighters on the ground. When unauthorized drones are spotted near an active wildfire, air operations often have to shut down immediately. And that means water drops, fire suppression flights, and even medical evacuation aircraft can all be grounded.
The FAA says flying drones near emergency operations can lead to fines up to $75,000 per violation. And now check out your KIRO News Radio weather. Sunny and near 80 this afternoon. Get out there if you can. Tomorrow it's rain and we drop nearly 20 degrees with a high right around 60. And then mid to upper 60s for the weekend as the sun returns. 75 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Lots of great stuff to get to.
So we've been together today for, 4 or 5 hours already. Mm-hmm. And I'm just now hearing that the fire department was at your house yesterday?
Yes.
Dude.
Yeah.
Everybody's okay?
Everything's fine.
All good?
My house is still there. Good to go. What, a little scary stuff?
You think? And Mrs. Skorheim called you yesterday?
She said, well, she didn't call, which I knew, so I knew it wasn't like an emergency.
Oh, okay.
She sent me a bunch of texts.
Fire department's here. Stop.
Exclamation point. Fire department's here. Well, she sends me this text in the middle of the show, and I look down, and we're in the middle of doing I usually have my phone on, it's always on silent, but sometimes when it beeps.
You're the smart one. I'm the guy that learns repeatedly.
Or doesn't.
Doesn't.
And so, but my phone lights up, and I see fire department from my wife. And I have two thoughts in my head. One is like, well, if it was a real thing, she would call me and it would show up and she would be calling. Because in an emergency, you call someone.
You do.
You send a text message, you're like, this is kind of a backseat problem.
Yes, exactly. There is a priority association.
It's a hierarchy.
Yes, exactly.
You call 10 times if somebody doesn't pick up, and then you can text saying like, where are you?
My wife has a graduating scale of
severity.
Yeah, I get a text, and then letter, HELLO in 5 separate texts.
So that you see it.
So that I know how much trouble I'm in.
Okay. That makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's clever.
Yeah.
At least it feels clever as you're being chided by your wife.
Yeah.
Which is never fun.
Warned what I'm walking into, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
I don't go down there cavalier, flippant. I know better.
There's
a swarm of hornets. Why would I walk in a bikini?
You adjust accordingly.
You do.
Yes. Okay.
So how's everybody? I mean, what happened?
Everything was fine. What ended up happening was, and I want to give credit where it's due. We have 2 firefighter stories. One of them is mine from my house yesterday, and then the second one is firefighters saved an adorable little animal. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Down in Gig Harbor.
Yeah, down in Gig Harbor. We'll tell you about that in just a second. But no, I guess all the fire alarms in my house in the middle of the day. At worst time possible, because she had just gotten the baby down for a nap.
Of course.
All the fire alarms just going exploding.
Yes.
And she can't figure out what's going on. She's running around. Nothing's in the oven. There's no smoke.
Okay.
And then you start worrying about was there like an electrical problem somewhere in the
you got
roof
a wall fire of crawl space, attic?
I don't know.
Yes. Oh.
They're very sensitive, these things. They're very sensitive. And because they're all like connected, if one of them goes off, the entire house goes off.
As it should be.
Is it?
Yes. I know it's a pain, and I know it's startling.
Well, because I don't know where to start looking. That's my problem with it.
No, I
like being warned.
I see. Yeah,
but just one of them screaming at me is going to get the job done. But I understand the reasoning behind it. They must have done some tests. The whole house should be alert.
Yeah, you don't want to be playing down in the game room or whatever, watching the kids, got a headset on or something, and an alarm's going off the other end of the house. That's
you may not
worst.
hear it. Right. Yeah. Especially if you're in if I'm on the west wing of the house and something on the east wing of the house,
you gotta get the golf cart out, drive all the way over there,
or call the butler and get the butler to go over and solve the problem. Yes,
joke, but we have a house that we literally text each other inside the house.
Can you go up on the fourth floor and see what the heck? Is there a window open on the fourth floor?
What is that annoying noise I'm hearing from the indoor archery range?
Lovey. So anyway, the fire department response. God bless them. They come to the house.
Okay.
And all the fire alarms shut off. They then come back. So she calls them back. She's already called the fire department.
Yeah. Now, did she call them, or do you have
a
system that alerts them?
She called them.
Okay.
She calls them. They say, "What's the problem?" She says, "Well, the fire alarms are going off, but we're not on fire, so
I don't smell anything, see anything." Yeah.
So they say, "We'll come over. We'll kick it around and figure it out."
Yeah.
And so they then all shut off immediately, right after she calls, as they would. And so she calls them back. She says, "Well, they shut off." They said, "Well, let us come over and we'll still check it out." So they come over, and as they arrive, boop, 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 everything's freaking out again.
Okay.
Yeah. And so then all these firemen walk into the house, and they're all looking around. And what they ended up thinking was that there may have been a malfunction in one that was just like then kind of going nuts.
Tripping off the entire system, yeah.
So these sweet guys, they replaced the batteries in all of them, which was nice. They're like, just in case, we'll get up there with the ladder and we'll 9-volt them because we have like really high ceilings. My wife can't get up there and do it.
That's wonderful.
So they get up there and they replace the batteries and all of them, which is like, I didn't even know that was a service available. Obviously, it's extreme situation.
Yeah.
You wouldn't call the fire department to change your batteries.
Says a lot about how attractive your wife is. I'm just saying.
Well,
because when I do that, it happens to me. I don't get that kind of service from the fire.
Quid pro quo. She also told me they were all very fit, which I was like, I don't need that detail.
How many calendars did she buy?
Yeah, she's like, you're all like really. You know how she's like, you know how firemen are always like supposed to be like beefcakes? I was like, yeah. She goes, yeah, they are. Like, oh, okay.
That hurts, doesn't it?
It hurts. She's like, they're also young and strong, and they're also like smiley. And I was like, all right, shut it.
That's it.
I don't need any more.
Meanwhile, you can't even change a battery.
Is the house burning down? Stop calling me at work. Anyway, the house is fine. Thank you to the firemen who came.
So, was it a low battery that was alerting you through the system?
We don't know. They changed the batteries. Everything's fine. I assume it was a battery.
Okay.
I think it was a battery.
If you don't mind my asking, is yours a service? Do you have like a home security service kind of a thing?
We don't have a home security service.
Because we have one of those.
Like an insurance type thing?
Or
like a Brinks?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, ours is not. We don't do that.
Because ours alerts, when our alarm goes off, it alerts the fire department. It calls when a window sensor goes off.
To your house?
yeah. In fact, a set of pecs gets shown up onto the clouds, like the bad
Excuse
signal.
me, ma'am.
You want
Why do they always have to be so
shirtless or not? Or what do you want? Oh, it's a premium service.
Is there no ugly fireman they could send to my house next time?
Right.
That's what I would prefer.
I'm glad everybody's okay. We've had a house fire. We've had two.
In fact, she's never been happier. No,
well, she's halfway to a bottle of wine.
They were great. They were great. No, I love these guys. They're fantastic.
And you want to give a shout out to the station? You want to go?
So it was just Snohomish Fire.
Snohomish Fire. Okay.
Yeah. So they came
Good
in.
for them, man. That's great. It's
They're
great
the
to
best.
hear.
They're the best. You need somebody to take care of a fire.
First
or an alarm.
responders, baby.
You got a 9-volt needs changing?
Have your wife
I know
call.
some people. All right, let's give some love to these other firefighters too.
This is a wonderful story.
This is in Gig Harbor. Did you see this? There was a kitten that was in traffic, and somebody noticed. How does that happen, by the way? Somebody tosses a cat out of a car?
Well, who knows?
Adorable little cats. Get out of the car.
I told you no more than 6.
Yeah.
I told my kids. That last one's got to go.
Got to go.
This kitten was in traffic, and when traffic stopped to not hurt this poor kitten, it crawled up under a car.
Mm-hmm.
So they literally stopped this car, and they called the local emergency services. I think police responded first, and they shepherded this car safely to a mechanic shop.
Garage. They put it up on a lift.
They got up on a lift. I mean, I love cats. I love dogs. But that's a long way to go.
It's a long way to go.
And I'm not saying it's not worth it. Of course it is.
I think you would do that too. I would do it too.
How do you move the car safely?
That's what my question was. Did they put it up on a
How did they get it from the side of the road where the kitten crawled into the shop safely?
They must have driven it.
They must have driven it, but probably at a safe speed. Probably slow rolled it with an escort.
10 miles an hour. That's fast enough to grind up a kitty.
Right?
I mean, I don't want to sound
me neither.
vulgar,
but I had concerns.
Yeah. But it's fine. The cat was fine. Do we have a picture of this cat? We have My Northwest.
Northwest has a picture of the cat after it was rescued by one of the
some more handsome firemen we can post. Well,
this
nice.
I don't want to point this out. I don't want to be this is some serious male pattern baldness in this firefighter.
What?
Look at this guy.
What are you talking about?
Look at that.
Male
Look at
pattern
that guy.
baldness. What are you talking about?
Look at that guy. That guy's thinner on the top than a souffle. Than a creme. I've seen creme brulees with thicker crusts on top.
Let me pull this picture up. We can be the judge.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to pull it up.
I mean, it's on my Northwest, and it's a wonderful
well,
story.
yeah, no,
that's not a flattering
Why
photo.
would you point that out? You don't need to point that out.
I was more worried about KIRO 7, which ran the photo.
Women don't care about that. They're shorter.
Okay.
They don't care.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And he wears a helmet when fighting fires and saving lives and saving my property. Who am I?
You're not even worried about his hair because he's got a great smile.
Lucky he's holding a kitten.
He's holding a kitten and he's wearing a fireman's outfit. He holds an axe for a living, folks.
I know,
mean, you don't care about his hair.
That is the least flattering. I bet he hates that. I'd like to call this station.
I know what you're doing. You're trying to make me feel better about all these hot firemen that were in my house yesterday.
Really was.
Impressing
Some
my
of them
wife.
are probably losing their hair.
You're trying to
Feel
besmirch
better.
this guy. You don't need to do that. I'm confident in my manhood. It's fine. I can change a 9-volt battery.
Laura,
you know what I did when I got home? I got up on a ladder and I changed all those fireman batteries and I changed them with my own batteries.
Jake brand.
Yeah. I'm not going to have fireman batteries in my house. I'm going to put Jake batteries in and let my wife see that I can do that. You know what else I did? Just for fun, because I was on the ladder anyway.
Wore suspenders.
That would have been sweet. That would have been a good idea.
What'd you do?
No, I cleaned up what's the
ceiling
vent?
fans?
The ceiling vent that sucks up the air and pushes it through your ears.
Good for you.
I cleaned that up.
Yeah.
And I said, "What do you think about this, Hero? Wife, what do you think?" And she said, "Yes, it's just as good as fighting fires." Very much. Thank you. She's like, "I could have done that with a broom. I didn't, but I could have. And you're a hero." But these guys saved a kitten, which is nice.
It is
in
nice.
Gig Harbor.
Yeah.
And
the crew at Eagle Tire.
Fire
in Gig
Engine
Harbor.
52.
Yeah. Station 52.
Eagle Tire.
Yeah. Good job, everybody.
That must have been a very satisfying moment.
Well, the cat peed on him. Did you hear that?
I did not hear that.
We've got the audio of the video.
Let's play it. All right. This is a cat.
It's all right. There you go. There you go. Careful. Hold it. Yeah, you're getting peed on. Yep, okay. Sure am. You're doing a good job. Yes.
Of course he is.
Oh, you did it. Good job. Go on, go.
He's getting peed on as he's under the car.
Yeah. As he's grabbing for this cat, which has crawled up into the undercarriage of the car.
Animals do that when they get nervous. Humans do that when they get nervous.
You know,
I do that sometimes.
When firefighters, when you're changing batteries, ironically enough.
Enough about those firefighters.
I always worry about that, like in the winter.
Animals?
Crawling up into my engine because it's warm and on cold days or whatnot.
You know what they tell you to do? Because years ago, I had a car that I was parking outside. We lived on Tiger Mountain Road out in Issaquah at the time, like up on a mountain.
Yeah, so you got weather. Yeah.
Cold, a lot of snow. And some mice decided that my engine compartment was a nice little place.
Yeah, that happens quite often.
It happens. And then they climb in through the heat vent and then they
they
bite their way into the car.
Yeah.
And then they make a little home in your car.
Sure, because that's going to be warm.
It's going to be way warmer.
Several times a day.
Yes, yes. And so what they tell you to do to stop that from happening is you got to prop your hood open just a little bit, not enough. You don't want like snow and stuff settling on your vehicle, but you prop your hood open a little bit so that the engine compartment does not stay warm.
Okay.
And then the mice, they see that and they go, like, that's not very warm.
Yeah.
I'll go somewhere else where it's a little.
Your neighbor's, who's getting his wiring chewed up. And
I took it one step further. I put up a little sign and it pointed to the neighbor's car.
It's free cheese. I got a plastic cat. Same thing.
That works too.
Put it on the hood of the car.
Would have been smarter. All right. You want to get to parking in Bellevue? This is the #1 story. If you guys want to go to mynorthwest.com, you can read about my story that I posted there about how much I hate what Bellevue's about to do.
Okay.
I saw that Bellevue did this. I was reading about this morning, and I had a strong reaction to it, much stronger than I need to, but I did because I have it for you folks. I'm fighting this on your behalf, and this is what it felt like when I read that Bellevue is going to start charging parking for their street parking. Bellevue's been the land of free parking for as long as I can remember. It's one of their best qualities, aside from their many great restaurants and their lack of people living on the street going to the bathroom. Yes.
Yeah.
One of their best qualities, though, amongst all those great qualities, is the fact that they have free street parking. And that's going away because they want to model it after what Seattle is doing.
Because that's been such a raging success for business.
Exactly. And this is my reaction when I heard that they were doing this.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Here's how much they're going to charge. $1 to $8 per hour. Dynamic pricing model, which is basically high demand.
Yeah, the more
price.
you need it, the more it costs, of
Yes,
course. Yeah, as is all things in this world these days.
Yes. So they're going to do that. They want to make sure that they have at least 80% of the spots. They want to have, what is this? They want to aim to maintain an on-street occupancy rate of 80%. Okay, so they want 20% of the spots to basically be open so that people have the option of parking on the street and paying money if they can. Now, it's only 600 spots. It's not like a massive amount of spots. And the survey that they're basing all of this off of said that 25% of the people who are using these spots are overstaying their welcome. Fine. They're not living there. This is not a Seattle situation where they're parking an RV there.
It's more residential in Bellevue, right? Is it downtown?
Well,
it
is downtown. Like Old Bellevue,
downtown
Spring District.
Wilbraham, Bell Red. I'm seeing it.
Yes,
Okay,
Bell
Spring
Red.
District. Gotcha.
And so what they're doing is people are parking, and they have time limits. You're supposed to, honor system. You're supposed to observe these things. People are staying beyond, and that's a no. You shouldn't do that. But that's only happening a quarter of the time. And now they're going to revamp the entire system so that people have to start paying for parking. And then they also are going to say, we're copying Seattle. Like, if I were them, the last city that I would be copying anything that has to do with downtown decisions is Seattle. And maybe I sound crazy saying that, but why charge for parking? I think the PR fallout from this, just because Bellevue has always been known as like, what a cool perk.
Yeah.
If you go to Bellevue.
Free street parking. Yeah, you bet.
And then at night, too, there's 55,000 spots under, like, subterranean spots, which is always where we park.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, after a certain time, those are all free. We never pay for parking at night. Because what's his face? Who's the guy? Who's the rich guy? Nice fella. I actually had dinner next to him once.
Bezos?
No, the Bellevue guy.
I don't get over there. I'm not allowed.
I know that. I'll come up with
Maidenbauer?
Not Maidenbauer. No, he's a nice fella. Anyway.
Gates.
Not Gates. Not Gates. You would know it as soon as I come up with it.
Okay.
I'll remind you.
Okay. Chihuly.
It's not Chihuly.
Okay.
No, I don't remember.
A lot of rich guys. Too many rich guys.
Too many rich guys. They have a lot of free parking. Kemper Freeman. There it is.
Oh, okay.
Kemper Freeman.
Should have been top of my list.
They want to have all the free parking because they realize what a benefit this is to people.
It brings people to the business.
It brings people in.
So is Bellevue hurting financially that they need to capitalize on? And here's the other thing about this, all right? It's not the $1 to $8 based on dynamic pricing scheduling that they're going after. It's ticketing. It's fees. It's violate. If people are overstaying their welcomes, they're gonna pay for parking and they're gonna overstay. And here comes those hefty tickets.
I don't know why they're doing this. I do think the PR fallout from this is going to be worse than whatever financial benefit that the city will reap as a result of people having to pay for parking.
You think it's a deterrent to people if they know they're going to have to pay to park downtown to go to these businesses? Is it going to be a deterrent?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
People's dollars are stretched pretty thin these days.
You bet.
And the idea of going, you can choose between two cities. You can say, hey, we're going to go to downtown Seattle. We're going to go to downtown Bellevue. You can do a lot of the same stuff in those cities.
Yeah.
You're going to have a different experience maybe, but like you're making a decision on where to spend your money. A big part of that, if you're going to be down in Bellevue for a few hours, 3 hours, that's an extra $24 if it's like a high price time.
Yeah, it is.
Those numbers start to factor in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
people
talking
make
about
other choices.
Yeah, and I'm not just talking about people who live in Bellevue. I mean the people who like go into Bellevue because it's a nice experience.
Yeah,
there's a lot of
they got some shopping, they got some dining they want to do.
There you go.
There's a couple communities they could pick from because they probably live equidistant from, say, I don't know, Bellevue or Issaquah.
Yes, there you go. So I think it's a bad idea. The other thing is the slippery slope of all this. Look at the toll roads. What happened with the toll roads?
Yeah.
405, 167. They tell us initially, like, hey, Liz, it's going to be like $1 all the time. It's going to be practically nothing. We have to pick an arbitrary high number just because we got to have something as a ceiling. So let's pick $10. And
it'll never. The St. Edward story. It'll never get to $10.
It'll never get to $10. It'll never get there. And then, of course, day one, $10. Day two, $10. Day three, $10.
Day four, that's not enough.
Yep. And then they went, hey, you know what we should do? What if we raise this? So then they raise it. Now, just a year ago, they raised it to 15. And now, again, they're meeting again saying, like, hey, you know what? This 15, not cutting it.
Not getting it done, man.
We got to get at least a bunch of these traffic flowing at 45 miles an hour in this lane, which means we got to discourage people, which means we got to get the price up. So let's maybe talk about 20, 25. Those are actual numbers being thrown around.
It's selling until a couple weeks ago.
And they sound crazy because it is crazy. And the thing, too, is like that whole toll system now, it's just paying for itself now. It's just funding itself. It's not even like that money is being super useful for the rest of the state. It's not. And this system in Bellevue, they're talking about like, hey, if this thing goes well, we're hoping it can pay for the system. Well, then what? They said maybe we're going to get like a shuttle hop on. Is that what the thing here? Like a bus around Bellevue? Have they been to Bellevue?
To bus them in?
Who's riding a bus in Bellevue that you want to start charging for these spots? That just doesn't make any sense to me. And then you have customers like the Bellevue Collection, which obviously nobody needs to feel sorry for.
Yeah.
But the Bellevue Collection is like, listen, offering free parking, that's a core value that we hold here in the downtown sector. So please don't ruin that. But the Bellevue City Council said
it's a done deal.
Pound sand.
Sorry.
It's happening.
Yeah. Bellevue Collective said we do not support this decision to implement paid parking.
And they shouldn't. And listen, if the Bellevue Collection people, those are not cheap shops. If the Bellevue Collection people are saying our customers don't want to pay for the $1 to $8 per hour parking, then it's affecting everybody.
They're already competing with online shopping, home delivery of everything you need.
Yes.
You want to get people to come into your brick and mortar businesses, and now you make it even harder.
Don't make it harder. Don't make it harder, Bellevue. This is one of those things where I think you can pivot. We talked about this with Katie Wilson the other day. Like, hey, you should pivot away from some of these decisions that you're making. This is a pivot decision, Bellevue City Council. Heed our warning. We know what we're talking about. Don't change something that people love about Bellevue. Don't start charging for something that was free. People hate that. They don't like it.
And they can never go back.
And you can't. You won't go back.
You never go back.
You never go back. It just gets worse. All right. I think we have Jim Walsh.
Yes, we do.
Jim Walsh coming up next. We're going to talk about the millionaire's tax, Governor Ferguson's response, Jim Walsh's response to Governor Ferguson. All going to be next. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Spring is a season homeowners start improving their homes. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. If your home needs roofing, siding, new windows, gutters, or decking, our team can take care of it all. For a limited time, save up to $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows project. Planning multiple upgrades? Combine your projects and save even more. Or with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. You can start your project now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
This Memorial Day, get $525 off every window, $1,000 off every door, plus 12 months zero-interest financing. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Washington, recent headlines might concern you. Talk of pocket listings or private networks where only certain consumers see certain properties are all over the media. Good news. The legislature recently passed a bill to protect you in your transaction. No secret deals, all listings available for everyone to see, not just an exclusive club of insiders. This means more competition, better offers, and fair access for all consumers. Learn more at warealtor.org. Sponsored by Washington Realtors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The Longview community still reeling today following that fatal implosion at a paper mill.
It's heartbreaking. Very heartbreaking. Just makes you want to cry.
We spoke to diners at the Pancake House downtown as recovery efforts continue for those 9 missing workers at the Nippon Dynaway plants.
It's been safe so far, and then this happens. So I think they try to take precautions and make sure things are safe. I don't know where it's going to go from here.
And we now have learned the identity of the first person confirmed dead. He's Gilbert Bernal. KIRO 7 TV's El Thomas has more.
A family friend telling KIRO 7 he is a husband and father to 2 children. He's worked at the paper factory for about 15 years now. Jared Amons, KIRO 7 learned he is one of the 9 still missing. Amons is also a husband and father of 2 children with another child on the way. Both of their GoFundMe accounts have raised more than $15,000.
And now CBS News reporting a third victim has been identified as Dylan Miller. He's survived by his fiancée and their 3 children. We are expecting another update from officials at 3:30 this afternoon. With the closing bell report now, filings for jobless benefits continue to creep upward. Last week, ABC's Jim Ryan reports.
About 215,000 claims for state jobless benefits were filed in the week leading up to May 23rd. That's 5,000 more than the previous week and slightly above analysts' expectations. On the upside, the number of initial filings and continuing claims are well below last year's level, suggesting a low number of layoffs.
Gas prices dropping across much of the country, not so much here in Seattle. KIRO News Radio's manufacturer explains.
Gas Buddy's head of petroleum analysis, Patrick DeHaan, told Seattle's Morning News the national average is down about 16 cents a gallon over the past week. That's the biggest weekly drop of the year, but Seattle drivers?
Prices down only 3 cents a gallon, though, in Seattle, $5.95. We're back below the $6 a gallon mark. Hopefully, we've got some more room to decline.
DeHaan says refinery issues in the Pacific Northwest are slowing things down, but he expects Seattle to catch up in the next week or 2. Amanda Factor, KIRO News Radio.
On Wall Street, a positive day as more talks of negotiations with Iran continue. The Dow gained 25 points, NASDAQ up 242, S&P 500 gained 43 points. And now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. We're doing pretty good out there. Mostly wide open commutes in Seattle. However, it is pretty packed. North 5 between the Michigan Curve and I-90. That Ship Canal backup starts near Mercer. About a half hour to commute through downtown. South 5, we're stop and go from Lake City Way in the downtown. 20 minutes from Linwood into downtown. South 405 is crowded from South Bellevue into Renton. Here about another 20-minute commute here from Bellevue to Renton. North 405, you're going to slow through the Renton S-curves. And we're seeing about a 2 to 3 mile backup forming northbound 405 through Canyon Park. Bellevue to Linwood has about a 5-minute delay. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Well, can't ask for much better weather than this. Sunny skies, highs in the mid to upper 70s. Tomorrow, though, a bit of a cool down. We'll see highs in the low 60s with some showers. Right now, 71 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. All right, we got a bunch of stuff we're going to cover, and we got a guest we're very excited to have on the show right now. Representative Jim Walsh joins us right now. Representative Walsh, thank you so much for making the time.
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're good, sir. Thank you.
We're doing very well. There's a couple things we want to cover with you. I want to get into the income tax. People are signing that initiative like crazy right now, so we want to talk about that in just a moment. Also, Governor Ferguson's response. Before we get into that, though, I think I saw a King 5 piece that you were you were at the vigil yesterday. Is that right, in Longview, at the chemical plant?
Yeah, it was 2 days ago. Yeah, it was a busy day on Tuesday. There was that. They're calling it an implosion. We're not sure what the mechanics of it were, but a major tank at a major paper manufacturing facility in Longview failed. And a bunch of what they call white liquor, which is a sulfate chemical compound that is used in making paper, leaked. And it was bad. The tank, it was giant. It was a 900,000 gallon tank of this white liquor. So it's a major industrial piece of hardware, and it collapsed in part. You've probably seen pictures.
Yeah,
it's kind of corkscrew looking, and a number of people were killed. They're still releasing names. They haven't released all the names, but about 10 employees of that paper company were killed in the collapse. And it was a major industrial accident. I went down. It's in my district for the legislature. I was there. The other local legislators were there. The governor was there. The local congresswoman Glusenkamp was there, and Patty Murray, the U.S. senator, was there. So there were a lot of people on site. There was a official briefing where we got kind of the word on where things were at that moment, and then we took some questions from the media, and then there was a prayer vigil. So I was there for all of that. While I don't agree with the governor on very much, it was good of him to come down. The recovery effort is being led by two of the local fire districts, and that's appropriate. But the federal EPA, which doesn't often work in Washington because it delegates a lot of regulatory action to our state Department of Ecology, but the federal EPA is involved because of the nature of the industrial accident. And so the kind of the leading agencies at the moment are the local fire departments and then the federal EPA, which has a very specific and well-equipped emergency response unit, team, sub-agency, and they were there. So it was very good to see the different levels of government all responding pretty effectively to a terrible situation.
Well, our hearts and our prayers go out to you and your constituency with this horrific tragedy. And it's really wonderful to hear that so many resources have been made available to that community. We were speculating earlier, is that the largest employer in Longview? Or if not, it's pretty close too. So many people will be impacted by this.
Yeah, good question. So the company is now called Nippon Dynawave, so it's owned at least in large part by a Japanese conglomerate.
Yeah.
It was historically a Weyerhaeuser paper mill. It's part of a campus where there are a number of different companies operating that basically used to be Weyerhaeuser and have spun off into different kind of ownership structures now. If you take the campus as a whole, it is the largest employer, yeah.
Wow.
The individual elements within it, are smaller, but when you take the entire campus, which includes several different operations, all pulp and paper related, it's the biggest private employer.
Do we? And I apologize for going so far into this particular story, but do we know if the balance of the different agencies or companies that work there are going to be able to keep functioning and people keep earning a living during the cleanup and investigation of the implosion?
Yeah, they're doing a good job of that. I mean, some of this is still to be determined, but even Tuesday, they were already operating in areas around but not directly impacted by the collapse of the giant tank. So they were already making adjustments. There are multiple access points, the gates, they call them, of course. There are multiple gates into the sort of communal campus area. So they were diverting traffic, of course, to the other gates, to the other areas to get in and out. But they were doing that, and even Tuesday, the other operations there were finding ways to get back up and running.
Okay.
These are real businesses that make real products. I mean, there's nothing AI or virtual about any of it. It's real industrial activity, and they've got constant demand for deliveries and receiving and everything. So they were working around it already. The Nippon Dynawave itself will be closed until the recovery process can be completed, of course. But the other businesses on the campus are up and running, at least mostly up and running already.
Well, we appreciate your updates on that. In the couple minutes that we have left, can we switch over to this? Initiative signing that's happening? I think in the first week we had something
absolutely.
like 92,000, almost 93,000 signatures, which would be a record for something like this in 1 week. They only need 308,000 or somewhere around there, like 380,000 just to be safe. Signatures gathered to make sure that it gets on the ballot. They're hoping, Let's Go Washington is hoping that number is closer to 700,000. It certainly looks like people are passionate about this. Right. And then Bob Ferguson responds this way when he gets those numbers. I'm just going to read this to you real fast and give you a quick chance to respond. He says, it looks like voters will get a say on whether to maintain the tax on income over $1 million that was passed earlier this year. And I look forward to the public having their say on this important policy. And then he goes into a list of all the things that he's excited about this new revenue coming in and doing. What's your response to that?
Governor Ferguson, we had a good day Tuesday. Why did you have to do this so quick? A very arrogant statement. Most of the feedback I've been getting from people is, what does he mean it looks like the people are going to get a say? Well, the people should always have a say on a major tax policy change like this. A strange statement. Clearly, he's feeling a panic. Because of that early number you mentioned about the number of people signing even in the first week. This is the initiative to repeal the state income tax. The governor calls a millionaire's tax. But as I've said even to you guys before, it's not really a millionaire's tax.
Yeah.
It's the law is 110 pages long. It has 1,210 different sections. One section, Section 314, is this exemption, household income exemption, which exempts most households. That Section 314 is not structurally connected to any other part of the bill. So it could be deleted easily by a simple majority of a future legislature. And if they delete Section 314, it's a 9.9% state income tax on all households. And as Senator Jamie Peterson has said repeatedly, that's his goal, a state income tax on everyone. And the governor has been very careful in kind of drafting behind Senator Peterson, but basically supporting Peterson's statement. Now, this new statement from the governor, he says he would not support expanding the state income tax to all households. But we've heard the governor speak before about not supporting tax increases, and he has a track record of going back on his word about these things. So he's feeling it. He's nervous about that chunk of signatures that came very quickly to repeal it. And if you track how signature gathering works on initiatives, this initiative to repeal state income tax is in very good shape to qualify and get on the ballot this November.
The governor says he would. The governor says he would. I'm sorry, President.
Repeal the tax.
The governor says he would veto any effort to lower the threshold to families in Washington. Why wasn't that put into the bill? Why wasn't that hard written into law?
we had the chance to do that. We offered an amendment that would have required basically a supermajority or even amended the Constitution to make it not able to be expanded to all households. And the Senator Peterson and the House Speaker in Olympia, Lori Jenkins, denied that amendment. So we had the opportunity to sort of strengthen the idea that this wouldn't be expanded to all people. And while the governor himself didn't reject it, his supporters in the legislature rejected that amendment. And there were other things that could have done too. I mean, the governor could have line item vetoed the emergency clause on the state income tax bill and allowed this to go to referendum. And he pointedly did not do that. So he was expecting, I think, that there wouldn't be such a strong response against the state income tax bill. And now that he sees that there is a strong response, he's basically triangulating. He's trying to find
he wants to save his job.
Middle ground for himself where he can, right, basically, yes. And look, he's a politician. I understand that. I mean, I'm a politician too. But the governor has a worse record on sort of flip-flopping, particularly on tax issues. And I think people are right to be skeptical that this new press release he put out is meaningful. I mean, let's see what happens. If the initiative does qualify, it looks like it will. If the people vote to repeal the state income tax, we'll see what he does. I think he's afraid of that vote, as he should be, because he could have stood for taxpayers earlier and didn't do it. So now he's kind of caught with his pants down.
The tricky pivot that he's trying to make now is that he's somehow defending the taxpayers when it seems by all measures that he was working very hard to make sure they didn't have any input into this. That's a really small target that he's aiming for. I don't think he's going to be successful at it. But Jim Walsh, thank you so much. Representative Jim Walsh, thank you so much for coming on, making the time. Also, thank you for helping out. And as we continue to cover all the story, what's happening in Longview,
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Well, it's beautiful today, but as you heard, the rain's coming back again this weekend. Is your home safe? Give my friends at Integrity Roofing and Construction a call today. They are incredible workmen, incredible crews. They do fantastic assessments, inspections, video inspections. They do it all. Their phone number is 206-202-ROOF. I can't speak highly enough about Integrity Roofing Construction. They came to our house, gave us an inspection. We pulled the trigger. We got a brand new roof. We love it. IntegrityRC.com is a website. Check it out. My review is there. Or give them a call at 206-202-ROOF.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83? $83?
83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise. There's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
What would you do if the person you love needed round-the-clock care and you had no plan to pay for it?
I was very worried about running out of money.
When Mike's wife was diagnosed with dementia, he turned to LifePoint Law and Elder Law attorney Rajiv Nagayich.
And then he said, you're going to be okay, but we have to get through these steps. Then I felt a whole lot better going into it. It was still a very difficult process, but in the end, I knew that there was someone there that if I needed help, understood what I'm going through.
LifePoint Law helped Mike protect his wife, his finances, and his future.
They laid it out really well up front. They give you a very in-depth plan. There are so many things that you don't know. I could never have done it on my own.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Tacoma on June 4th, Mukilteo on June 6th, Lacey on June 9th, or Bellevue on June 13th. 6:30 p.m. Space is limited. Sign up at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
All right, welcome back to the show. Lots of stuff to get to. Lots and lots and lots. Let's talk sports for just a second. Are you a Ian Rappaport fan? Is it Rappaport or Rappaport?
Rappaport.
Rappaport.
I think it's T. I think the T's hard. Yeah.
Anyway, he's an NFL insider, according to his job title. And
nice gig, huh?
Pretty good gig.
Yeah, these guys know what they're talking about, though.
Well, he develops. Here's the thing. He just this is what these guys do. They develop all these cool inside sources who then tell them little things, and then they come on TV and they tell you little things, and then they get paid a ton of money to just talk about sports all day. That sounds pretty great.
It sounds pretty great, especially when you got a world champion in town.
Yeah.
And that world champion is on the market. Mm-hmm. And initially the reports were there was not a lot of interest in the Seahawks. Not as much as anticipated.
Who said that?
That was an anonymous source among owners where that one came from.
Did they talk to a non-sports fan? That's crazy.
I don't know why an owner would not want to pump up the value of all franchises, because that's the story here is that when the Seahawks sell, it's going to set the new standard for what franchises are worth. Then remember, Commissioner Roger Goodell came out and said, no, there is robust interest.
Of course.
In the Seahawk franchise.
Anytime a house in your neighborhood sells, everybody just watches and they're like, oh, please sell for a ton of money, because then your house goes up in value.
Goes up. So we have Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter. We're speaking on, I think it's Pat McAfee's show, which has gotten pretty dang popular.
Yeah.
And they were talking about there is not just robust interest in the Seahawks sale, but that the league could be meeting this August in a meeting of owners.
A sale.
To approve an owner, a sale to an owner.
Which would suggest to me that there's somebody who's pretty far down the road.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Let's play a little bit of the clip and then we can chat daydream about who that might be.
Here's my understanding of the potential sale of the Seahawks. The market, I'm told, has been robust, and the way it is trending will not be surprised at all. There's a special meeting among NFL owners this coming August. Could have a new Seahawks owner before the season. If all goes perfectly well, could eclipse $10 billion. So ever since Seth Wickersham reported that the market was softer than they thought, things have really picked up steam. New owner potentially coming soon for Seattle.
Well, congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks. Obviously, that $10 billion valuation is... They got a Super Bowl team. They got a lot of contracts over there locked in.
$10 billion.
Coach McDonald is going to be there for 100 years. Okay, he's seemingly very young. Good for them. Whoever gets in there. The NFL team has become like
he's seemingly and actually very young. What is he? He's 38. 37?
McDonald?
Yeah.
I think that's right. Yeah. Youngest coach in the NFL, one of the youngest coaches every year. That's what I love, by the way, the new trend away from the old timers club, the old boys network of NFL coaches.
Yeah.
Was it McCarty just got signed again to a new franchise in Pittsburgh after being in Green Bay, then Dallas, now Pittsburgh.
Sean McVay's always been like the youngest guy.
Yeah.
He might still be the youngest guy, but
it's nice to see where we are as a franchise.
It's nice to see we got some young blood.
It is. And
the young bloods.
That being said, a new ownership has an opportunity to take something that's got a lot of road left in front of it.
Yeah.
And maybe come in with a fresh set of eyes and a fresh mentality of how to invest in this club. We had a story last week. Does the city of Seattle, are we ready for a new NFL stadium?
The problem
that's
is that
already on the table.
Everything is working in Seattle right now.
Yeah.
So when somebody comes in, they want to put their stamp on something. If everything's like running hunky-dory, then just sign the checks. That's what I want. Just sign the checks.
Have football guys hire guys that know what they're doing and let them do their football things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
With regard to a new stadium, is the city ready? It's almost 20 years old.
No.
It's almost 20 years old.
No.
We'll never get a Super Bowl with that park.
As long as we're winning Super Bowls, I don't care.
There you go. Fair enough.
No new stadium.
A new downtown
Unless
district.
it's really sweet. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Smooth accelerators. When that light turns green, you're off. Like a warm knife through firm butter. Going from 0 to the speed limit in an appropriate amount of time. Sure, your car has horsepower, but your horses prance around as silky smooth as your right foot. Fancy Prancerton. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
Liberty Mutual customized this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu. You can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel. a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better, live stronger. Start now.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle.
ABC
Northwest News.
Possible draft to extend the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran has been reached. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent confirming that negotiating teams have made progress. That could include reopening the Strait of Hormuz. The president, though, and Iran's leader have not signed off. ABC's Karen Travers has more.
The big sticking point potentially still could be the issue of sanctions being lifted on Iran. The president was pretty clear yesterday in that cabinet meeting that he does not want to see that relief, but Bessent did not explicitly rule out that that was part of the discussions right now with Iran.
New data signals the economic strain for Americans due to the ongoing conflict with Iran and rising oil and gas prices. The Commerce Department figures show inflation is up 3.8% from this time last year. Health officials sounding the alarm on the Ebola outbreak. Africa's CDC says there are now 1,077 suspected cases and 246 suspected deaths in the Democratic Republic of Congo. This is ABC News. The Supreme Court today throwing out the conviction of a black death row inmate from Mississippi over claims of racial bias in the makeup of the jury.
By a 5-4 vote, the Supreme Court Thursday sided with Terry Pitchford, sentenced to death for the killing of a grocery store owner. He was 18 at the time. Though his friend fired the fatal shots, he was under 18 and ineligible for the death penalty. There was one black juror in a trial with similarities to that of another black man on Mississippi's death row, whose conviction the High Court overturned 7 years ago. Doug Evans, a now retired prosecutor with a history of dismissing black jurors for discriminatory reasons, had excused 4 other black people.
ABC's Chuck Sievertson. In Florida, police in Vero Beach say the suspect in a double murder earlier this year has been found dead. Police say Jesse Ellis had been missing since March and last seen walking into the ocean by witnesses. He's accused of fatally shooting his estranged wife and another man in March. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Coming up, the Longview community coming to grips with this week's tragedy at a paper mill. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, we've got a new collision down in Sumner. It's westbound 410, just past Valley Avenue. It's blocking your right lane. That leaves one lane open, and there's about a 1-mile bumper-to-bumper backup right now. Over to Seattle, North 5, no surprises. You've got thick backup starting at the Michigan Curve up to the Ship Canal. About a half hour to get through all this. South 5, we're slow from Lake City Way in the downtown. Still about a 20-minute trip from Linwood to Seattle. South 405, we're crowded from South Bellevue into Renton. It's taking you about 20-25 minutes to make that trip. North 405 now pretty solid through the S-curves all the way up to the VMAC. And we got about a 3-mile backup North 405 through Canyon Park this afternoon. You're at a decent pace, so Bellevue to Linwood still has just about a 5-minute delay. Everywhere else looking pretty good. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo as emergency responders continue their recovery efforts at the Nippon Dynawave in Longview. The city and its people must begin a recovery of their own. KIRO News Radio's Corbin Hake reports from downtown Longview.
The Pancake House is a diner about 2 miles from the scene of this disaster, and that proximity is reflected in the lunchtime conversation.
That's all everyone's talking about right now. It's uppermost in our minds.
Partly because there are personal connections to the tragedy.
One of my coworkers, his dad's missing, so he was a very nice man.
But also because the disaster casts shade on the safety of the paper industry, so central to Longview's identity. In Longview, Corwin Hake, KIRO News Radio.
And we do expect another update on recovery efforts at that facility this afternoon at 3:30. We'll bring you the latest as we learn it. Seattle police say they have stopped a potential mass shooting after receiving a tip about a concerning online post, then found a shotgun buried in the woods of a park.
On Tuesday, police got a crisis complaint about a photo of a gun referencing a possible mass shooting. This was on the social media platform Discord, and the post was made by a Tacoma University student who lives in Seattle. Police say they'd gotten reports that student had become increasingly erratic and radicalized and was clearly modeling his ideology off of a mass murderer. When police found him, they say he admitted to burying a shotgun in the woods near Robinson Community Park in Bellevue, which they found. He was taken to a hospital for a medical evaluation. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Now hearing from the attorney of a family that's dropped its lawsuit against Seattle over climbing structures at Gasworks Park. City recently removed ladders from the so-called crackling towers after a teen fell to his death last year. Karen Kohler represents the family.
And we sued the city for nuisance because they knew and they declared that this was a danger to the public, but yet they stood by and did nothing.
She says their lawsuit pushed the city to act, telling KIRO News Radio's Jean Ursula she's now calling on the city to treat those remaining towers as a memorial to the people who've died there. Your forecast now looking at sunny skies this afternoon and highs in the upper 70s. We're up to 72 degrees now in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. Lots of great stuff still to get to. And so we shall. Let's just dive right into it, Spike. Also, if you guys missed, last segment we had, about 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, we had Representative Jim Walsh, who represents Longview, who's dealing obviously with that horrible chemical implosion that happened at the plant there. And he joined us. He had some new details about that. He also told us where, if anybody wants to donate money to help those involved, to help those affected by this, he told us all that. So go get the podcast, listen to his interview. You can get information, and it was really great. We're really grateful for him for making the time. Let's get to some stuff, though, Spike, that we haven't had a chance to get to yet today, but we want to. Let's start here locally in Seattle, and let's go right at Katie Wilson's shakeup with her staff.
Again.
Again.
Yeah, second time in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Right?
Now, her chief of staff, 2 weeks ago, had to go be reassigned somewhere else?
Yes.
Sent to the kids' table?
Special projects.
Special projects.
Director of Special Projects.
Special projects, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, placemats and appetizers.
Play-Doh.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Don't eat the Play-Doh. And now John Grant, who is was the senior advisor on homelessness for Katie Wilson, he's resigned kind of abruptly, and they're calling this a resignation, although as you're kind of looking at, what's your 2 cents on this? Is this a resignation? Did he achieve everything he wanted to in the first 6 months of her job?
Well, they did achieve one of the pillars of Mayor Wilson's goals, which was the expansion of housing, bedding.
The expansion of the intention of bedding.
Well, that project is off and running.
Have they completed it?
It's not. They completed anything.
Okay. Well, then that's what I'm saying.
Grant was tasked with finding locations to put new some tiny villages,
housing
to expand the homelessness sleeping bedding situations.
Options, yeah.
Yeah. And nothing's finished yet. He was your take is, what my take on this? You can resign or we're going to fire you.
That's what it felt like.
That's what it seems like it's going on there.
That's what it felt like to me too. This felt like we're going to show you the door. You can decide to walk out or we can push you out. This felt like he didn't really have a lot of choices here. What do you think? What do you think happened there? Obviously, he's in charge of. He was in charge of her. He was advising her on all the homeless issues. Did he feel like he had a really strong idea about what should be done, and now she's confronting the realities of what she can actually do, which is not as much as promised? And he feel like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what the dynamics were.
Sure.
What do you think the dynamics were?
That he was tasked with helping them expand this development of new shelters with wraparound services to take people off the streets and make that first step toward helping address the homelessness issue in Seattle. But either he didn't meet expectations or he was just the guy that had to get the hard work done and now he's gone because she burned a lot of bridges in accomplishing that. And it's not a real popular policy with a lot of folks who think that, the promise of wraparound services, to your point, is it done yet? It's not done yet. They've announced what they intend to do. They've located areas that they can put these expanded shelter areas into.
Yeah.
But accomplishing the goals of this administration, which is housing, bedding with wraparound services.
Which to her is like she's talked about before. That's kind of her number one issue.
Yeah, and I get it. But the problem is, will there be wraparound services? Will it be situations like we see now that are all bets are off? Just get off the streets, do what you want to do it here.
This is a really important distinction. We talk about this sometime with our kids. Like we're trying to introduce, some larger in life ideas that we want them to start grasping. And one of those things is intention versus the result. Now, you might have really good intentions going into something, but if the result doesn't pan out, then the intentions really don't matter. It would be good for you to figure out how to do the thing that you're promising, especially with, like, we're not talking about politics with our kids. That's not what we mean.
Well, yeah, of course.
But, like, we're talking about it more in a very small, like, way of, like, how do you treat your siblings? What are you doing around the house? How are you accomplishing the chores that you're responsible for? Just different things. But in Katie Wilson's case, it's well and good to say, I'm going to do all these things, I'm going to offer all these services, and then to find yourself in a position where we're 3 weeks out, we're 2-something weeks out from the World Cup. I mean, despite how many people actually show up for this as tourists, the world will be watching on camera what Seattle looks like.
Yes.
And if the homeless problem is still a problem, then the timing of this is interesting to me because I'm wondering if this plays into the World Cup stuff. Like there was this report about a week and a half ago, and it kind of didn't go anywhere, and local media weren't really covering it. But there was these allegations that they were just taking homeless people and shipping them off to various other parts of the state.
Yes.
Now, that would be a pretty bad look for a mayor whose job is to try to provide housing for people. She says to just ship them somewhere else. And I'm just wondering, like, is all of that timing related? If that even was happening. And again,
I think the drive to have these beds available, these shelter facilities available to the city of Seattle was coordinated completely with the world coming to town.
Sure.
The cameras, the eyeballs, the spotlight coming to town for the World Cup.
It has to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're claiming up stuff that they wouldn't normally.
The rush to establish these programs of 4,000 new beds was the job one priority because they knew the world was coming. And the idea of the World Cup coming here isn't just a one-time cash grab. It's also to put our best foot forward. It's a living advertisement for the city of Seattle.
Yeah.
People who come here and have a good experience want to come back. People who watch Seattle and see beautiful pictures.
You would like Seattle to have that Emerald City
we sure would, yeah.
Description,
to
and
that
for
again.
people to be like, hey, it really does look like an Emerald City. It doesn't just look like an Emerald City covered in
the problem
brown
is
stuff.
what the mayor's doing, and in not just in this instance, but in everything they've done in the first 100+ days of this administration, first 6 months of this administration, is making national news for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
So any kind of wart on this city during World Cup is going to get spotlit.
Oh, they got a lot of warts.
Big time.
A lot of warts.
I mean, the mayor earlier.
You got to remove a wart. I'm not saying this guy's a wart, but I'm saying that.
Well, earlier today we talked about how the mayor decided that those barricades the citizens put up were unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
That was national news.
Yeah.
National news that the citizens have taken in their own hands. I'm looking at national news coverage, and the socialist mayor of Seattle is the Wicked Witch of the Northwest. Easily vilified.
I hadn't seen that. The Wicked Witch of the Northwest.
I just made that up.
And the Emerald City
I
thing.
just made that up.
Oh, that fits perfect.
Isn't that great?
I like that.
So is the mayor the mayor's administration quickly trying to right the ship, make adjustments, new chief of staff?
New chief of staff, the advisor, senior advisor on the number one issue that she says is most important to her, resigned, shown the door.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's something happening internally that's not working. And don't forget, the last few weeks, her making the media rounds and putting her foot in it time and time and time again, literally taking orders from junior staff members who are telling her off camera to stop talking, and then she just stops talking. I mean, what's happening in that office right now?
Well,
is there like when we started this segment, I was thinking that he was shoved out. Is it possible that he just quit because he's like, listen, I can't work for somebody who can't do the job?
I don't know. It seems like he was shoved out.
What if he resigned because he's like, I don't want to go down with a sinking ship? There's a lot of attention on her right now.
Great question. When you look at Starbucks and how that situation was handled and how much juice that got.
Yes.
You know, and it's every element. Look at the Seattle
bean juice.
We had the president of Seattle Police Officers Guild on yesterday, Mr. Liu. And
Ken Liu.
Ken Liu was on it, and that exchange.
That exchange
about cameras for the World Cup. Everything this mayor's administration is stepping in and not being able to clear anything. And they're hitting every puddle. They're hitting every pile.
They seem to be making the wrong step after wrong step. You're right. That Seattle Police Officers Guild stuff, that was also national news.
Exactly.
Little things that don't need to be are turning into national news
because
stories.
how it's handled by this administration. The story has become more of what are the problems facing Seattle, is how is this mayor's inability to handle these or even address these situations.
You know what?
Becoming a bigger story.
John Grant, I don't know you, but you might have gotten off a train that was heading down the wrong tracks. I think it is heading down the wrong tracks or a sinking ship. He might have said, hey, you know what I'm going to do? There's an iceberg up ahead, and I don't want to be on this ship. I'm going to hop off.
Why is that guy just waiting in the lifeboats? He hasn't even hit anything yet.
What's he doing? Is he a time traveler? Does he know what's going to happen? So it is interesting. I do think the timing is interesting.
Yeah.
How could it not be playing into either what's happening in World Cup stuff coming up or as related to the general sense of her office right now, which is that they're just...
And not to pile it on just this administration, because part of this is the King County...
I'm okay with that.
The King County Homeless Authority, Regional Homeless Authority, their days are numbered. I mean...
Are they still in business?
Yes, they are.
Why?
But everyone is still... Because the issue, because
don't we all know the fraud? I mean, like we all just did the fraud. Why are they still operating?
I saw a story a couple of days ago that they're gonna find a mechanism to try to address where that money went to and not just write it off, correct the problems that were made in the administration of the Regional Homeless Authority. Pierce County announced yesterday they're going to form their own Pierce County Regional Homeless Authority
because King County's went so great.
Well, the first two pillars of their business model is accountability.
Sure.
And transparency.
Sure.
Because that was the two biggest holes in the side of the boat, to borrow the euphemism, of the King County Regional Homeless Authority. So clearly an overarching structure that deals with this number one issue facing this city and others is that you combine one organization that helps all these different services be run effectively and complementary. That did not happen in King County. But part of this guy stepping away from the mayor's number one issue, directing the efforts toward the mayor's number one issue, is because talking about a sinking ship, King County Regional Homeless Authority is everybody's losing faith in it.
Let me ask you a question. I mean, we were talking about, again, start of the segment, we're talking about Katie Wilson's senior advisor on homelessness just resigned abruptly. They're calling it a resignation. People are asking if it was really a firing. They're showing him in the door. I'm now thinking, is he reading the tea leaves and just saying, hey, I'm going to get out of here while the getting's good? I saw this stat. I want to see what your thoughts on this are. This was from fixhomelessness.org. And it had a breakdown of the makeup of the people in Seattle who find themselves homeless. And I'm going to throw some of these numbers at you and get your take on these. And I'd also like to know, what is the generally accepted number right now of homeless people in Seattle? Is it somewhere around 16,000?
Yeah,
is that like the official?
I think that sounds about right.
And then it's possible
these are people living on the streets.
On the streets.
These aren't people living in cars. These aren't people living with other people, staying in friends' houses, sleeping on friends' couches or floors.
Well, I don't think of that as homeless because you have a roof over your head.
But these, I'm with you.
Yeah.
But when we talk about the number of people that are on the streets,
well, the number
it doesn't really speak to the number of people who don't have homes for affordable housing.
Yeah. And in this case,
17 sounds about right.
In this case, a lot of the people that we're talking about, listen to some of these numbers. 80% did not go to high school in King County. 67% do not have family in King County. 50% were homeless somewhere else first, which means that they came here thinking that Seattle might be a friendlier place for them. I don't know.
Seeking services.
75% self-admit that they have addiction issues. Any one of these would be, I mean, these are all tough numbers to look at. If Seattle's sitting there trying to figure out, like, how do you solve a homeless problem when they're transplants from other places, you got to ask yourself too, like, well, what is your responsibility if somebody else is just shipping homeless people to your region because they know that you're going to bear that burden. That's not fair.
It's not fair, but before, when I moved here, homelessness was an issue, but not the issue it is today. Part of the reason that Seattle is attractive to those who don't have house, to the homeless.
Yeah.
It's the services. It is. It's a huge element of it is the open-mindedness of our approach to treating homelessness.
We don't arrest people for drugs.
We don't arrest people for drugs. We don't require you to be sober to be given free housing. It's also the climate here. I mean, being homeless here is a lot easier than being homeless where it freezes.
100%.
So
Yeah.
we've always had that attractiveness.
It's like I'd much rather be homeless in Hawaii.
Yeah, exactly.
Than I would here.
Right.
The weather's a little
I'd
nicer.
much rather be homeless here than you would in, say, upstate or in Michigan in the wintertime.
Yeah, or
New York
Minneapolis.
City. Right.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason that people come here. You couple that with lots of services. You couple that with a progressive mindset.
But it can't be. I don't think it's as much about the weather as it is much about, it's 75% of the people have
addiction issues. Yes, agreed. I'm just saying it's one of the clubs in the bag. Is the weather.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
But the driver, that's the wedge.
Exactly.
The driver is the fact that we will help you get high.
There's no criminal. They don't criminalize being homeless here. You can do drugs. Not only can you do drugs, they'll give you the equipment to do it, which is a big point of contention for a lot of people. I mean, we've gone round and round talking about that before.
Absolutely.
I do just. I mean, if you're sitting there trying to solve a problem, and this problem, for the most part, it looks like is not even originating with people from here. It's like we live. I mean, we live in a big world. Washington is a big state. Seattle is a big city in a relatively big state, but everything kind of feels like we're in this little community here.
Mm-hmm.
In the Pacific Northwest.
It's a very, I call it a very provincial mindset up here. We're not like any place else. We have great pride in where we are and what that means. You've heard of the Emerald City earlier.
Yeah, we got
I haven't heard somebody called it the Emerald City in I don't know how long.
I haven't either, but I miss those days.
I do too.
And I like fish. We got fish, which is nice.
Yeah.
I do wonder, how much are the, if you found out that the majority of the people who are coming into Seattle, who are homeless, who are eating up all these services,
Mm-hmm.
imagine if we were only helping homeless people who became homeless here instead of people who are being shipped up from California or people who are being shipped over from wherever it was. You could do a lot more because you don't have people coming from out of state to take up the services. It makes it very difficult.
Absolutely.
And then the problem snowballs because nobody really gets what they need. And then everybody ends up just getting less than. And so nobody fully gets the help they need. Now, a lot of that is ideology. A lot of it is like, all right, we're just going to give people almost unlimited resources to continue ruining their lives. We're not going to require them to get healthy.
We see it as the humane way to treat people.
Yeah, which again, we've had debates about and, whatever. People have different opinions on that. But at the very least, I would think that it would be easier as a starting point to say, hey, you know what? Resources are limited. We have to first help who we can help, who we know where they came from. And if you're, say, somebody who's coming up from Portland because you hear that you can get drugs in Seattle, who would you choose to help first?
I hear you. Well, we had to talk about this. We had to we're hoping to get to this topic. Spencer Pratt's campaign in California.
Yeah.
He had an interview last week, I think it was, or earlier this week. A lot of things he said a lot of things about we're dealing with drug addicts. These people are drug addicts.
Yes.
I mean, he made a comment, and I'm going to paraphrase it.
I
I'm
can
going to
play
butcher
for
it. Oh, God, about Seattle.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Send them to Seattle.
How long?
Here's what you got to realize.
90 days?
Let me explain something. These 40,000 people, 60% of them, City Watch just announced this week, are not from Los Angeles. They're not from California. These people have been bussed in by scam rehabs, scam NGOs, scam homeless nonprofits. These people, when I unplug them and say, we're not taking our tax money anymore, they're all going to Seattle where the mayor will welcome them.
So here's the thing. I like a lot of what he says. I do not want them to send other homeless people up to Seattle.
Yeah,
but I think what he's also saying there is if Seattle is a very friendly place, just like you were saying a few minutes ago, if they're very open and they're, we got a lot to help you, we're not going to judge you while we're doing it. We're certainly not going to force you to get clean. Then I understand why people are like, hey, I'm going to get myself up to Seattle.
Well, the rumor that people were being bused to Seattle has been going on for a long, long time. There's been 8-10 years that rumor without a lot of verification to it. For example, when is the mayor busing people to Eastern Washington of Seattle? Is the mayor busing people to Bremerton?
Yeah.
There was no, the most as likely was police department said, we have no evidence whatsoever. We can't see any sign that people have been bused and dropped here. But giving people a bus ticket out of town has been the method of addressing an issue for a long time.
When I was
that's what Pratt's talking about doing in L.A.
When I was living in Hawaii, when I was in college there was a local news story because homelessness they had a big problem in Honolulu because obviously the weather is fantastic and they have a lot of tourists are there. There's a lot of just stuff.
I mean, the thought of sleeping next to a road hanging from a palm tree in a hammock.
Yeah, with a papaya hanging
right?
over your head.
That's
not horrible.
Not too hateful.
Waking up to a beach every day.
It's great in New York.
People pay a lot of money to sleep on the beach in Hawaii. They were offering tickets, one-way tickets off
the islands,
because they knew that they couldn't get back as easy. And there is some sense to that, especially if these numbers are true and the majority of people who are homeless here were homeless somewhere else first and are not even from here, then
I think
that's a problem.
I think it speaks to the bigger solution we talk about repeatedly is not just making this somebody else's problem, not just shipping this off to Seattle or shipping this out of Seattle. Is to address the issues of drug addiction, is to address the issues of mental health crises, and making these wraparound services that the mayor's promising, making that a bigger part of the equation than just giving somebody a bed that's not in front of your business or on the corner, a tent on the corner.
Forcing them to get help. I have no problem with forcing somebody to get help. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Chris Sullivan.
Sully's going to join us.
He's going to help us out with traffic stuff when we come back. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
When Dennis suggested retirement planning to his wife, Linda, she had the same reaction lots of people do.
Do we really need it?
Then they attended a free seminar with elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayich at LifePoint Law.
He asked me, what do you want? And he truly listened. And at the end of it, it was like, we need to do this.
There are many people on the radio that speak about many things. And when we got here and actually worked with the team that Rajiv has put together, it turns out that it is not just talk, it is action.
And in the worst case?
I said to him, if something happens to Dennis, what would I do exactly? And he said, you pick up the phone and you call Rajiv or you call me. And that right there was like peace of mind.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Tacoma on June 4th, Mukilteo June 6th, Lacey June 9th, or Bellevue June 13th, 6:30 p.m. Space is limited. Sign up at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. City officials in Longview now confirm the drinking water is safe after Tuesday's fatal chemical implosion. Public Works Director Chris Collins.
There is no concern for our water at this point. It's extremely safe, just as safe as it was last week.
EPA and the Ecology Department are assessing potential impacts to the Columbia River as recovery efforts continue inside the Nippon Dynaway packaging facility, where 9 workers are presumed dead. KIRO 7 TV's Jack Bilyeu reports.
Chief Scott Goldstein of Cowlitz Sioux Fire and Rescue says ditches near the plant were also contaminated. Signs are now posted near those ditches warning people to stay away.
We have recovered approximately a dozen carp from the dikes that have died.
Officials believe about 570,000 gallons of white liqueur spilled when the vat imploded. It's not yet clear exactly how much of that flowed into the waterways or how much remains on the plant property.
And we are expecting another update from officials at 3:30 this afternoon. We'll bring you more as we learn it. Seattle's Department of Transportation has been ordered to remove the barricades put up by neighbors near Aurora Avenue. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports they were trying to protect their streets from gunfire.
After a bullet ripped through the wall of a home near Aurora Avenue North and North 98th Street in Seattle, the father, Jake, told KIRO 7 TV,
"Could have lost my 6-week-old beautiful baby boy."
And residents built metal barricades to block what police say have been pimp shootouts during an ongoing prostitution turf war. Mayor Katie Wilson's office says residents can't block first responders or trash trucks from the neighborhood. SDOT will install temporary traffic calming treatments that do not include speed bumps. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
U.S. and Iran are reportedly close to a deal that could extend the ceasefire, reopen the Strait of Hormuz, and set the stage for broader negotiations. President Trump has not yet signed off. Washington Representative Adam Smith says he should. Smith chairs the House Armed Services Committee, telling CNN.
If we can get something that stops the war and opens the strait based on a vague promise on the nuclear weapons program, a lot of people would say, no, we can't take that. It's a bad option. It's better than anything else that's going to be on the table.
Multiple reports say the deal would offer Iran some economic relief, but its nuclear program would be pushed to a later round of talks. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 2:33. Here's Nate Connors.
Thank you, Aaron. Seattle Sports has our update. We've got a new collision in Renton. It's northbound 167 at the ramp to northbound 405, blocking the right lane. And that's got 167 on the exit lane, backing up quickly on 405 and on 405 rather. And that backup starts at 180th. Southbound on the Valley Freeway, heavy from State Route 18 into Sumner. Speaking of Sumner, we cleared that earlier crash westbound 410 just past Valley Avenue, and that backup is also cleared. Westbound 18, we're packed from the West Valley Highway over to I-5. Here in Seattle, North 5, scattered backups between the Michigan Curve and Ship Canal. We're up to 40 minutes now to get through downtown. South 5, you're heavy at 85th to I-90. South 405 slows from South Bellevue into Renton, and North 405 now slow from South Center up to Northeast 44th. South Center to Bellevue is up to a half-hour commute. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And to your forecast now, blue skies, sunshine, highs in the upper 70s today. Right now, 74 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Happy to have Chris Sullivan on with us right now. Sully, you got a lot of traffic stuff to talk about.
Yeah, lots.
And
it's summer. Almost.
We have chicken traffic. We have different choke points. We have World Cup coming in. We have Revive I-5 pause. Where do you want to start?
You tell me. I mean, we could go. Why don't we go with this weekend?
Okay.
Because there's just a little note. I did a choke point on it earlier this week. Eastbound 520 is going to be closed this weekend, all the way across the lake. The reason they're creating a new temporary off-ramp to Montlake that will open to drivers on Monday. It's going to be a pretty big change because it's a little closer to I-5. They're kind of pigeonholing a little temporary one between the new deck that they're the construction pontoon they're putting up for Portage Bay and the old exit. So they're putting that in. So it'll be a different jog, a little different merge on Monday. You'll be getting off at a little different place. The reason they need to take down the Montlake off-ramp going forward so they can continue. They need a construction zone. So this is a temporary ramp that they'll build, and they'll have to, or not build, it's already built. It'll just go active on Monday morning. So that's a biggie for this weekend. They're also closing down southbound 405 in the Kirkland area for fish passage work. There's also closing down part of I-90 and 18 over the top at tight.
It's a weather-related time of year they can do it.
It's like they're trying to shove it all in before the World Cup. So this weekend's going to be a very busy construction weekend.
It seems like a good transition then to the Revive I-5 pause. Yep. I saw a piece in the Seattle Times about everything you could expect.
Yeah.
What's your take on this?
Well, I think it's going to be good that we're going to get I-5 back for about a month. Next weekend, that first weekend in June, they're going to close down northbound I-5 across the Ship Canal Bridge. They're going to remove the construction zone, open up all the lanes so that starting that following Monday, the 8th of June, all lanes of northbound I-5 will be back open again. And more importantly, for all of us who live on the north end, which is every one of us in this room, the express lanes will be back open again southbound in the morning. And then it'll switch in the afternoon like it always did.
As it should.
We get this for about a month until the middle of July. They're going to have another weekend closure. Then they're going to shut it back down again.
For how many months?
Till the end of the year.
Okay.
Now, are they shifting the closed lanes to the outside?
Now they're going to be moving to the right-hand side of the bridge. So for all of us who go home, we're going to have to find a different way home because we won't be able to get on I-5 northbound at Harvard.
That was my question.
On-ramp is going to close
for the rest of the year.
Until they move far enough north, maybe in the construction zone. The plan is as they move north across the bridge, as they have in this first section,
they'll move.
That hopefully will open that earlier before the project ends.
Can I still take express lanes to the underside of the express lanes from Mercer?
Yeah, so if you want to go down the other way, go down to Mercer and pop in.
And then I'll drive underneath the problem.
Correct, you'll still be there, but yeah.
Sweet.
So that's a big deal.
Lord.
Well, we're going to see how the World Cup goes. I mean, we're all getting mixed thoughts on this, a whole bunch of different things. With,
what are the mixed thoughts?
Well, you look at the hotels, you look at, the is it going to be as big of a deal as it was billed? Maybe, maybe not. We don't, it's hard to tell until we get here. Then we have the games and we have downtown being shut down for the games and, lack of parking. No, you can't even get Uber or anything within like a mile of the stadium. There's a bunch of factors that until we get there, until we have our first game, we really won't know. Yeah. Now, granted, around that U.S. game, it's going to be
chaos.
Chaos because everybody and their cousins coming to that. We don't know who's coming for those other matches or how it's going to work.
I want that chaos though. I want the Team USA to be supported.
Yeah, I don't like soccer at all.
That's the cash cow for the city.
Yeah, I don't give a rip about the World Cup, but I will root for Team USA in anything they do.
Yes. You know what the nice thing? I mean, the saving grace, if they get anywhere near the crowds that they have predicted, which I don't think they're going to, but let's say in some scenario that they do. A lot of the games are afternoon games. They're not like late afternoon games where traffic would be crazy. They're going to be like midday games, so maybe that helps a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see. And again, we'll see. It's a good thing that we now have light rail across the lake. It gives people other options. If they wanted to come in and do that, you wouldn't have to. Exactly. So they're better options to get around. But we'll see. I mean, it's still going to be a very huge impact on the region. The good news is most of the construction should be taking off, and we shouldn't have any extra stuff on top.
You brought up light rail, so there's a good transition then into our last topic of the conversation. Which
we're going to get to chicken. Don't you wait. We'll get a minute on chicken. But let's go Sound Transit.
Let's go Sound Transit. So the Sound Transit Board have been, in the last couple of days, there was all this build-up to, they were going to meet and vote and talk about...
Yeah, the meeting's going on right now.
Where they're going to have an extension. If not, I thought this was a vote on, are we going to extend, as we originally promised, to places like Ballard? But you let us know that that's not actually what they're meeting about.
Again, there's wiggle room in here in enough that as of, even with no matter what happens with today's vote, I don't believe in my understanding of this, that anything is truly dead. What is going to happen today is the board is most likely going to vote, and it takes a supermajority to do so, on this resolution they've been working on for 2 months now, that basically says we, as the Board of Sound Transit, are going, we want to, and we are committed to building everything we promised voters in 2016 under ST3. That's our goal. But we understand we're $34 billion in the hole as a light estimate.
It's like that
we don't know where we're going to get that money.
That's a big butt, Simone.
Yeah, that's
Everybody's got a big butt.
So we don't know where, but what this resolution does include is a list of what they consider doable or not doable under the current financial constraints that they have. And under the things that are not feasible is Ballard, which is something the city of Seattle and the people at Ballard voted for pretty consistently, is to get that light rail line to Ballard. They don't have the money for it because it's basically an entire tunnel all the way from Seattle to get there.
Yeah, and as we know from Bertha, tunnels are very expensive.
It's gone up to $23 billion for just that 8 miles alone to get to Ballard. What they say is feasible is starting the line, going under and getting to about Seattle Center. Last time I checked, Seattle Center is a Ballard.
No.
And so the question becomes is, now people might read that as go, well, if that's not feasible by 2052 or whatever, is it really, dead to Ballard? I don't think anything's ever dead with Sound Transit because they can always, go back to voters. They can always try new things.
They just won't die.
They can change the books. They can change the accounting.
That's why their zombie marketing thing was so insightful.
Yeah,
You're
last
right.
year.
I didn't think about that. They foresaw what was coming.
They're softening the ground.
Yeah. So other things that are feasible, getting almost all the way up to Everett, not all the way.
Almost all the way
we're getting
there.
like 2 stations in, which would get it to
Sound Transit,
Painfield,
a stone's throw,
and then getting it down to Tacoma, which I think is key. Is kind of finishing that spine on either end. West Seattle is also good. Ballard, though, not, along with some stations along the way. So, there are going to be winners and losers, but I don't think anything's totally dead. Or totally go based on what they decide today.
Just like a zombie. Let me ask you.
They can't move people, but they can kick a can.
Right? They could certainly kick a can.
That, and also I think they're raising the sales tax and taxes on rental cars today.
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. If they decide they can't go to Ballard, those people have been taxed for how many years now? Decades.
It's 96. 97.
So 30 years, basically, they've been taxed. And they're not going to get a train that was promised. They're going to continue being taxed even if they don't get a train.
That is correct.
Okay, so here's a question for the good listeners of Ballard, of which there are many. Maybe you just accept the loss and you just say, listen, this is like a massive headache. You don't want this. A small portion of the people who actually live in Ballard are actually even going to use this train as a percentage. So what if you just don't get the train and then you sue Sound Transit? You're laughing, but the serious suggestion.
Because then that means you're suing us. Because Sound Transit is us, if you think about it, because we're the financial arm of the organization.
But I'm going back to the part where I'm trying to make them go away.
I'm with you.
You sue Sound Transit, and you say, you cannot continue collecting taxes from us. There's a version where you could say, those taxes were kind of justified because there was at least an eventual delivery on the promise. But if there's absolutely no delivery that's going to happen, and yet you're still taking our money, that's taxation without representation. We've all seen how that ends up in America. So why not just say, we're not paying any more taxes on this? Is that possible?
Again, I'm not a lawyer. I know a lot of people individually have made that choice themselves by not renewing their tabs. And again, which I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah, me neither.
No, but I mean, if you want to talk to the poor folks at Ballard, how about the poor folks in Tacoma?
Yeah,
who
who
haven't
didn't
really
want this
gotten
to-
anything. I mean, they have the little train there around the dome, but
was
nothing.
it Pierce or Tacoma who didn't
Pierce
want this
voted
in
it
the first
down.
place? Okay,
Pierce County voted it down. So we're talking ST3. Snohomish County barely approved it, and then King County overwhelmingly approved it. So, but the folks in Tacoma have basically they said no, and they're still getting taxed, and there's no real end for them either. Though feasibly they can get to Tacoma, at least according to the board.
Sometime when my kids have kids.
We're talking 2052.
Yes.
They've
All
got
right.
time.
Chris, yeah, there's always time.
We'll talk chicken next time.
We'll talk
It's not
chicken
that
next time.
Big deal.
Chris Sullivan, thanks for coming in. We
Sure,
appreciate
anytime.
it. All right, guys, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
A shot to center field. Julio is there, and Julio makes the catch!
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house, even when there's not an actual seat, because you're in the T-Mobile pen.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
The pen isn't just the perfect space to hang with your whole crew. It's where you can see Julio defend the no-fly zone 1 minute and watch Senor Smoke get ready for his big entrance the next.
Andres Munoz has simply been incredible.
Sure, the pen is standing room only, but with a team this exciting, who wants to be sitting down? Mariners baseball. Try this up.
90s weekend is on deck at T-Mobile Park. The fun gets started tomorrow with an epic 90s-themed fireworks night presented by T-Mobile. Then it's back-to-back giveaways with Julio Rodriguez sleeveless jerseys Saturday and Ken Griffey Jr. pins Sunday, both presented by KeyBank. Get your tickets at mariners.com. That's mariners.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
For more than 75 years, the VA Home Loan Benefit has helped millions of eligible veterans and service members achieve their piece of the American dream, a home for their families. Did you know that you could purchase a home or refinance your current home loan with your VA Home Loan Benefit? VA home loans have lower closing costs and generally enjoy lower interest rates than other borrowers. The VA home loan may save you thousands of dollars on your mortgage. For more information, visit www.va.gov or talk to a lender of your choice. Choose VA.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Every year, 4.5 million young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 visit the ER.
It's every parent's nightmare.
Umergency gives you all the tools you need to quickly and effectively manage your family's emergency. Umergency provides instant access to vital resources, customized to your student's campus and local community, digital consent form, and built-in urgent alert button. Umergency gives you peace of mind when you need it most. Download your Umergency app now.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. Text message time. Lots of fun. Lots of great responses. Let's get into them. Go for it, Laura.
On Mayor Wilson's order to remove the barricades that neighbors have made off of Aurora Ave because of shootings, Jevin Longbranch says here's where they went wrong. The neighbors should have blocked the street off to bicyclists only, like the Lake Washington restrictions. How could Mayor Wilson and her team disagree with that?
Did I tell her? Should I tell her?
No.
Or Jeff, should I tell Jeff?
Tell Jeff.
Where it would have went wrong.
Where they go wrong?
The argument was for emergency vehicles, for trash removal, things like that. It's not that they were limiting the road to bicyclists. Still wouldn't.
No, because they love bike-only roads.
Oh, I went wrong when not seeing the joke. It's a great joke.
It's a joke.
Great joke. Oh,
I thought you were building upon it.
No, I blew it.
You just didn't get it.
It's an opportunity for humor, which improves every situation.
Which is actually kind of funny. It's so funny that you took it seriously.
Jeff, this is a great joke.
Jeff that's a great idea, and they should. I like how you were diagramming.
Pimps on bikes, though. This is a new.
That's right. The pimps would probably
just
take
adapt
to the bikes.
They would adapt. Criminals are always one step ahead of the law.
That's so funny.
Doug in Puyallup says, I thought Seattle mayors like barricaded streets. The Summer of Love mayor certainly approved of them.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
206 says they should have put the planters on rollers so they can just move out at night and in the daytime. That's an idea, but the pimp cars could probably
push those. So they tried running through it. Did you see the barricades up there they'd been tagged with graffiti? And they get rammed by a car?
But they're still there.
They were still there. They survived.
So they're working.
Kay says, why don't they put up an electric gate and give everybody in that neighborhood a remote? They can also give garbage men remotes.
Yeah, just make it a gated community.
That's
absolutely.
Wow.
Good idea.
I love this audience. Jacob the beer guy says, good points, but with the pimps, you take one down and another one takes their place. Keep the investigation open. We'll let law enforcement get the top dog and put the entire thing to bed.
That's right. You want to get a low-level guy, then you bring him in, then you flip him, turn him into a snitch. Then you climb up the ranks, and before you know it, you got whatever the top pimp is called.
Right.
Whatever that guy is. All right. On the woman without a right hand. Oh, yeah. The woman who had no right hand getting pulled over for driving with a phone in her right hand.
Yeah.
Joey says she could have been steering with the stump arm and holding the phone across body so it appears on the right side, regardless of the thumb position, which could be hard to see while driving. Just saying, it is possible.
The criminal mind. Joey.
Yes.
Cell phone.
Joey's right. Joey's right. But the cop did say, I saw you had a phone in your right hand. He should just let it go at that point.
Right.
Because she doesn't have a right hand. Just give her the benefit.
John in the 573 says, weren't we all shocked last month when the man with no arms or legs was driving and shooting someone?
Oh, my gosh.
He was also a cornhole champion.
Yeah, it's a professional cornholer.
With no arms or legs.
No arms, no legs.
And shot a guy. And
allegedly
wanted help dumping him out of the car, according to witnesses.
Allegedly.
Never underestimate the ability to overcome.
What a waste. He could have been.
He was a world-class talent.
He was as big as it gets in the world of cornhole throwing.
Yeah, and as small as it gets when he took a human life.
And yeah. Let's move on quickly.
Okay.
Let's do the cat that got rescued.
Yeah, thank you. I couldn't make that
cat's
transition.
great one.
You're right. Curtis in Auburn says, that's actually how I got my cat Kyle, 2-week-old little kitten in the middle of the road. I had to bottle feed him and everything. A 7-year-old now and thriving.
Oh, so he found him because the story we had was that a kid was in the road, climbed up into the undercarriage of a car. Yeah. Firefighters in Gig Harbor took it to a local shop. They raced it up. They saved the kitten.
Saved the kitten's life.
Boy, if I had a nickel for every time that happened.
They call it the cat distribution system. Cats just like magically appear in your life, whether you want one or not.
It's in your car.
Kind of they just show up. They're
That's
like, all
great.
right, you're mine now.
That's how it works. All right, Todd and Buren. Years ago, I had went from West Seattle, Linwood, and back. And during that time, I kept hearing a sound. I couldn't figure out what it was until I got back towards Seattle. And I heard a cat, and it was a kitten on top of my spare wheel. I mean, it sounds like this is happening a lot. Kittens sneaking their way in.
Do you remember the cat that was on top of the car? The family drove from like Vermont to New York City.
Yeah.
And it wasn't in a carrier. Cat was just holding on for dear life.
This wasn't Mitt Romney's dog.
No.
Lest we forget.
I don't know that story.
This cat crawled in with...
Oh, the Romney thing. I don't know the Romney. What's the Romney reference?
Romney, they put their family dog in a crate on the top of the car
that's right,
for the road
trip. In a crate.
You know what? It sounds mean, but I bet you that dog having the time
Utah,
of his
right?
life.
Is it Utah? Yeah, it's warm.
Yeah.
You ever drive with a dog?
They're head out the window
half
all
out
day.
the window the whole
Yes.
time. Yeah, he's loving it up there. All right, very quickly here on calling hot firefighters. John in Snohomish says, hey, Jake, another fun fact about smoke detectors is that they're only good for about 10 years. So when you're changing the batteries, there should be a date of manufacturer on the back of the smoke detector. If they're more than 10 years old, they're going to get close to the time to replace them. In Costco, oftentimes they have them on sale, and they are a combination carbon monoxide smoke detector. That's good to know.
I think you got outdated with that one.
Yeah.
Seriously. That alert.
Well, my house is less than 10 years old, so this would not apply, John. So I know when to change my smoke detectors. I didn't actually know that, but it's useful information. Finish this off here, Spike.
Kathy Burian says, we had to call the fire department. It was like 7-foot astronauts. You do feel safer. They will handle it. No worries.
Good job, Kathy.
Yeah.
All right,
firemen.
John Curley's coming up next. Thank you, firefighters, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for Friday's show. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
What would you do if the person you love needed round-the-clock care and you had no plan to pay for it?
I was very worried about running out of money.
When Mike's wife was diagnosed with dementia, he turned to LifePoint Law and Elder Law attorney Rajiv Nagayich.
And then he said, you're going to be okay, but we have to get through these steps. Then I felt a whole lot better going into it. It was still a very difficult process, but in the end, I knew that there was someone there that if I needed help, understood what I'm going through.
LifePoint Law helped Mike protect his wife, his finances, and his future.
They laid it out really well up front. They give you a very in-depth plan. There are so many things that you don't know. I could never have done it on my own.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Tacoma on June 4th, Mukilteo on June 6th, Lacey on June 9th, or Bellevue on June 13th. 6:30 p.m. Space is limited. Sign up at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
This is the story of Julie Guillot. She's a Leukemia and Lymphoma Society advocate and the mother of a child who battled blood cancer.
Zach was diagnosed with AML, a deadly leukemia, when he was only 5. While the treatment really attacked the cancer, unfortunately, it also attacked his body. Uncontrollable fevers, terrible nosebleeds, and his skin was burned from the inside out. He died at just 9 years old, really from the treatment that was meant to save him.
The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society was founded 70 years ago by parents who also lost their child to cancer. Today, we're pioneering breakthrough treatments for kids with cancer.
We are so close to finding better treatments for kids with cancer. So it's too late to save Zach, but working together, we can save thousands of kids just like him.
Visit lls.org and save a child's life.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary